wizard. Beware his powers. Unspeakable powers. He's the wizard. The mystical wizard.
Greetings, travelers, whiz kids, and word players. It is Wednesday, which means it is WoW Wednesday for one more time. I am the WoW in WoW Wednesday. I am Wizard of Wordplay, and I am joined, as I am always, by Stimulated Cynic.
Yo. Yeah.
And the Gremlin King himself, Samurai Snowman.
Konnichiwa, my friends.
You don't know how to speak that. You don't even know what you're saying.
Konnichiwa.
You have no clue.
I think it's like a sub cracker or something.
Port chonkies. It's a new one I've heard.
Preston is here. Hail, Wizard, and Snowman. Not so.
What the fuck, dude?
Hell.
No, this is our,
Go
as I've
Hale.
dubbed it, the pun ultimate final episode, as that is me second to last. That is not the season finale. As next week will be our season finale. The last WoW Wednesday for maybe ever. But tomorrow we will be back with a Thor's Day stream, as there's lots of Thor's news to cover. But this week we have a little. It started off like not really a whole lot to talk about. Then there's like, we can go over some more of our hits and some stuff and some new stuff as well. But Bent is here too. He says, I'm here too, just playing more Stormancer while listing the background. Thank you for being here, Bent.
Hell yeah. Welcome, brother.
Cynic,
Yo.
how was your week?
You know, I spoke about it earlier in a little bit of the group. Everything was pretty normal, pretty okay until I had to go to that house today that was stupid janked up for no reason. $1.2 million home, all kinds of holes in the walls and crap like that was supposed to be fixed. That wasn't fixed, that me and another guy ultimately had to go and take care of. So that was fun. Oh, and I got a ticket today for my window tint for absolutely no reason. I assumed it was for driving while black. So
how could he tell the window tint? You got that
exactly.
Hey, he doesn't have a micro chat.
Yeah, see it down there in the little corner. Look a little guy, look a little micro chat going.
Yeah, I fucks with that. It's nice.
What's
up, Ruby?
And hey, a Tory fan, and Ruby is here as well. Yeah, I saw that little chat thing and it's like, oh, cool. It's it's a little small. I feel like they should, when they release it fully, they should have like to scale, because it'd be nice to just do this automatically, but I could understand if maybe you don't want that. But
yeah, I prefer pulling them up actually versus just having it on the screen. I mean, maybe if you're gaming or whatever, right? If you're doing a gaming stream, it would be.
It's good for that. A lot of the times it's just good even for like people watching later. Like I know when I've watched some streams that have the chat just on the screen, it's like sometimes you don't look at it, but it'd be nice it's good for emojis. Like when people put emojis in, you can see it. But we'll give it a little run through here.
I like it for me, honestly, because I want to read the chat, and I gotta fucking keep my phone on them dumbass wireless chargers.
Jesus Christ! What do you live in, Serbia or Russia? You poor shit.
No, my phone, the fucking phone charger just doesn't work with the wired one, so I gotta use the dumbass wireless one. So I gotta like lay it on the ground.
Yeah. Preston says it's kind of small in parentheses or in brackets. Every girl to Cynic.
Never claimed for it to be big, so. Never, not once in my entire life.
She'll find ways to misinterpret grammar things in new way, like using brackets instead of parentheses is a new one.
Business.
Also, now Preston, you can't retract messages because it shows them on the stream.
Get wrecked. Forever ingrained into digital history.
So,
they're only to detract me anyway, so I mean, it's just double hurtful now.
Now you just gotta stand by what you're gonna be saying though. Snowman. How's your week?
Good week, man. Just been waiting to finalize the selling of this house. I'm so excited to get the fuck out of where I'm living now. And then
Yeah,
I've
what's
just been-
the value of a cardboard box where you live? Nailed it.
Well, I
Well,
painted it gold.
There's no holes in the ceiling, so
A little trickery, yeah.
$1 million.
Duct tape. The ceiling is nice and duct tape on there.
$1.2 million this place. It blew my fucking mind. I was like, what are y'all doing?
Well, I'm selling it to Preston, so I don't know how much I'm gonna get for it.
Some cabbages. You're gonna get you're gonna get an armful of cabbages.
Ruby said $500. I'm just hoping really to get the $500 I've been looking for it.
You could probably get $500 in cabbages. Is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, over there, it's a gold mine.
Yeah, dude, you'll be rich forever over there.
But
You're like a set.
Is that like the name of the king over there or something? I'm a set.
Nah, dude, you could just make borscht, unlimited borscht for the rest of your life. You'll never go hungry again.
It's been good, man. Just been waiting on that shit. Fucking been drawing and working on my rough draft and knocking a bunch of shit out. So it's been nice that I've had this time on my hands to really practice and work on my gremlin world. Preston says she's leaving Imprint.
Yeah, I saw that. I just ignored it.
Bummer.
She can go back
Mike
to the other guy.
Mike has some news about crickets.
well, Ruby, because it's going through the stream StreamYard, right? Like
is it going through StreamYard or is it YouTube?
It's through StreamYard. So like if someone were to comment on Twitch that we're live on, the Twitch comments would show up as well.
Oh, so okay, basically they took all of it, just populated it into
like the thing that's over on your right side of the screen when you're on the thing,
Yeah.
it just shows up on here now.
Yeah, I don't like it. Take it off.
And new subscriber Maryland Cookies. Thanks. Finally
What's up,
moved out of
Maryland?
125.
Wait, so are you gonna do any streams ever again? Or
So what
Me and you, we'll do WoW wins. I literally trademarked that today, so don't worry about it.
fuck it, yeah.
what will
I'll still
probably
stream.
happen is we will, because I don't know when I'm gonna get internet hooked up in my new place or whatever. So it might be a while, but then we'll see what happens. What my plan was to maybe just do occasional streams when there's like something to talk about that I can just put into its own thing. So like when Superman comes out, when Fantastic Four comes out, we might do just like a, when we all see it, like
Superman
full
coming out though.
July.
Do you think you're gonna be without internet till July? Seriously?
No, I'm saying like once I get it, I'm saying I might like not do the weekly shows, just in general.
Oh, okay. I get
Like just do like specials, like Jesker does, where he just streams occasionally.
Don't go the Jesker route, bro. Because
Not gonna go all the way Jesker, because Jesker just doesn't stream anymore. I killed Jesker's channels. Like,
the year of Jesker was supposed to start in January, and he was like, "No, I meant the end of January." And I think we've done one stream since then, maybe two.
Do you want to just stream by my phone? I could. It's just that I couldn't do the producing and stuff. And
Do your phone don't have a hotspot?
No, it does, but it would just, I don't know how strong that would be.
Yeah, probably slow as fuck.
Always do a test stream. We can do a test stream one day and give it a shot. Just to see.
Either way, I don't know how often the weekly streams will happen, just because it's like, like they're fun, but I'm busier these days. I want to also do like more stuff about my comics as well. So like, want to basically go into doing like less weekly streams and more like regular videos, like spend time doing those instead of setting up for streams, stuff like that. We'll figure it out. Either way, we're definitely going to go on a break. Like there won't be streams for at least like a week or so. I'm not sure yet.
What about FFS?
Oh, that's supposed to be starting in June. We've I don't know. No, Wiz wasn't in that meeting, but a lot of people for Imprint were in on that meeting, and we're we're doing we're getting a streaming schedule together for everybody that's involved, so we can start growing channels. And hopefully my stuff, I've got some stuff uploaded before I go on Good Logic's channel and get that Ricada Good Logic bump. So
Yeah, that'd be dope. But yeah, I want
yeah,
to still stream and push comic books and shit, man.
I want to stream and push old ladies down the stairs. That's me. But hey, if you want to do this comic thing, you're more than welcome to, nerd.
I want to do both. Just don't.
All
Just
right.
don't pay me.
Grumpy, I'll look at the stream elements thingy.
Hell,
The
Grumpy.
the auto mod.
Wait, Grump got timed out. Who timed Grumpy out?
The stream elements auto mod.
What? Stream Elements timed him out over Hell and Shout Out. Tory Fan, Ruby King, Preston, and Vabent. What the Stream Elements? Are you drunk?
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Should
Maybe
be
it
good
just
now.
said. What comic, Mike? What comic did Diller do a cover for? If you want to answer that.
No, Vabent, you're not timed out. The only person that got timed out was Grumpy. I'm looking at the log right now.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. Preston's now changed their name to Stream Elements, and timed Grumpy out, and then changed it back.
He can't keep getting away with this.
You just can't keep doing it. What are you doing? She said I hacked it. Sorry, Grumpy.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yes.
the streams are just gonna take a break just because I'm not gonna have internet. And like I said, the big reason is like no one's gonna care. Like, no,
Wait,
you guys don't have to keep lying. You guys don't give a rat's ass if I stream or not.
What? You got like
5
5 viewers in here, man. You don't get
well,
that
actually,
care?
we're almost at 10. We're almost at 10.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
Technically, we're at 8 on YouTube, and the Twitch is just the stream elements. But
yeah, the Stream Elements bot. But still, man, like consistency is key.
Right.
Like you got to look at like Ruby and I have doubled your growth because of us doing more streams.
And me.
And that we actually lost 2 because of you, but we'll discuss
Nah,
that.
that
after
was
the
that
show.
was 90s router.
But nah, man, like I don't think you ought to give up. I really don't. Especially
Like I
coming up
said-
summer, man. There's gonna be a lot of nerd news, but it's up to you, man. Either way, like I told you from the moment I met you, bro, I've got your back on whatever you decide to do. And if you don't want to do streams, you always got a seat on FFS. It's perfectly fine.
It's streams will still happen. It just might be like different than just the weekly like nerd talk one where I kind of have to like find stuff, and if it's not interesting, like we all just have to sit
I
through
mean,
it.
we could rotate the topics, right? We could do the gaming streams. We could do the Thursday stream one week, and then we could do
a
couple nerd topic shows.
Thursdays will not be weekly, but we'll talk about
No,
that
I'm saying
tomorrow.
like once a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
there will be stuff to do when like with Thursday at least, because we were all talking about like what are you gonna do when Immortal Thor ends. Well, there is news of a post Immortal Thor stuff, so it's like that'll be something.
Oh shit.
Well, we had already discussed that. We were talking about going back to some of the old arcs and sort of reading some of those.
But there is like Thor will continue, so that'll be.
No, Preston, not FXS. Jesus Christ. You're already subbed to FFS too.
As Preston asked earlier, she wanted to know more about when my stuff's gonna happen. Like I said, I wanted to do stuff on my books and be able to do streams about that, but I got to get all that kind of moving now. It's stagnated because I've just been so busy. And some days, like today was my day off, but some days I'm not off on Wednesdays, right? So it's like I got to get back from work and then get ready to set up the stream, which I haven't figured out that work stream balance thing yet. That is to say, we'll just see what happens. Either way,
for now.
June, after beginning of June, just won't have a stream that week, after
It's
next
just
week,
one
we'll
less
have a
day I got to put pants on. So
you know, but
you know.
we'll figure it out. As Ruby says, I'll figure it out. We'll find the balance. I mean, I do like doing the streams. It's just that just for that first week, I just will not be able to. Like that's just happened. That happens with
Yeah, either
YouTubers
way,
who
that
move.
we had already discussed
Yeah,
that because the
yeah.
intranets and dude, just like you told me when I was going through my uncle's stuff, man. Like sometimes you do just need a little break, and I agree.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I know I didn't name it the podcast. Actually, Wizard set that up for me because it was sort of spur of the moment thing, and it's I guess it is a podcast. Fuck. Um,
They all count as podcasts. I mean, like whether they're live or not. Like if you're just sitting there talking with a microphone,
all
that's
of
a
them are
podcast.
podcasts except for CG Church. How about that? How about that? Stimulated cynic, you don't you don't wear pants for this. Don't lie. I do have pants on. They just come off midstream when I get hot. Once we start really getting into the nerd news and I start getting all
Pantsless
hot and
pants.
bothered.
Well, you're lucky. I did delete one thing off of my topics
What'd
for
you
tonight.
delete? And what'd you delete?
The one thing that would make you put the pants back on.
What is it?
The stories that come up every so often that you hate really bad that hurts your soul about.
Pedro
You might as well
Pascal?
pull it back up, bro.
No, it's
We
just
might as
it
well
wasn't
cover
even
it.
it wasn't even news. Like it was just like here's all the castings for the Greta Gerwig Narnia movie or whatever.
Wait, I haven't
that's
seen.
what
Oh,
that's
they
what-
want that
that's what-
bitch to be Storm. People are trying to get her to be Storm, the black chick
So it
from,
wasn't even
Wicked.
anything. It wasn't even like the confirmed list. It was still all the rumored ones. So it wasn't like it was like, well, that's like I'll wait until there's official news. A lot of the stories I save, and when I go back through them, I'm like, well, this isn't official news yet. I'll wait until we'll get something out of that to show, because otherwise we're just going to talk about the rumor or and sometimes we'll do it if there's like, ooh, what can we make out of this? But other times it's like let's otherwise we're just constantly talking about rumors all the time, and I didn't want to do that, especially with Marvel and DC stuff, because there's always so much just people just making shit up. And so it'd be every single week it'd be like, they're going to do this now, we're going to do that now. It's like, no, that's just we're not going to sit there and do that, because I hate those Twitter accounts that always just make stuff up. And I muted them on like almost all of them. I'm like,
That's why I'm muted. I get it.
like I'm not going to try to do all that. But anyway,
personally though, like I really wish that the whole Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the whole thing with all that Greta Gerwig would end up like Stanley Kubrick. Personally,
Dead?
Thank you.
Why
and
you pick Stanley Kubrick? What do you have to do?
Because he famously died before his movie came out. So
okay, I thought I was
they
just gonna say he famously died. I'm like, all right.
No, he famously died before his movie came out, and hopefully that's what happens here. Because Jesus fucking Christ, man, why are you ruining one of my favorite childhood memories? Not just childhood memories. I read that as like a young adult in college. Me and my cousin went and bought them and was like swapping books back and forth, and getting drunk while we were reading them. It was a blast, man. I have fond memories with those books. Now this bitch is gonna ruin them. I hate her.
Yeah, those are classics, man. You got to be treated with respect. I'm not a fan of them at all, but that's like classic literature almost.
They're gonna make it about gender politics, and you're gonna Meryl Streep is gonna voice
Aslan. Yeah, that's wild.
I did see what made me want to say
what
that was
fuck,
that the name they had for the White Witch was not Charlie XCX. So I was like, where'd that come from? Like last we heard it was Charlie XCX. That's what we showed on the stream, but maybe I can just pull it back up and we can just. I mean, Jesker's not here, so he won't be able to share in your torture.
In my pain, in my torture's the right word, because it is torture. But
torment.
Torment. Yeah, it's horrible, man.
If I can find it, who knows? Discussing film always like you see it, and then it turns out it was like yesterday, and that's buried now. No, I guess my week was mainly just working, and then I had the day off. I was gonna draw, but I just kept putting it off, and then I just never did. So I was mad.
Yeah.
I was like, dang it. It wasn't. It was Culture Crave, not discussing film. They have on here Meryl Streep as Aslan. They have Emma Mackey as the White Witch, Carey Mulligan as Diggory's mother, and Daniel Craig as Diggory's uncle.
No. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
All right,
so
go back.
far.
Hold on. Let's look at this. So,
Yeah. And is adapting
really-
The Magician's Nephew.
let me stop reading the chat. Let's lock in here, boys. Meryl
Lock in
Streep,
here.
KYS. Emma Mackey. Mate, she's too young, man. Like, she's too young. Why are you casting Diggory's mother? Like, with a mate, she was barely in the. Okay, all right, she was barely in the book, but that Carey Mulligan fits. Daniel Craig as Diggory's uncle, I could see that.
Maybe it was like, what if he's like, I really was a fan of the
Yeah, I
the
could
whole
see
series,
Daniel
you know,
Craig's
and
out of all these, the only one that's not a bad casting choice to me is Daniel Craig.
What
fuck.
is Aslan? What is his like? It's a him, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Why
Aslan's
can't
a
Daniel
dude.
Craig? Why
Yeah,
can't Daniel Craig be
it's
Aslan?
clear.
Yeah.
It's clearly a him. Look at the lion's mane.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just
Oh,
tired of
man.
this shit.
would Daniel Craig as Aslan be a better cast?
Maybe, but I do like Daniel Craig as Diggory's uncle. So they're starting with the magician's nephew, which is
Mhm.
exactly what they should do. And Diggory's uncle is sort of a buffoon, like a bumbling idiot, and I think Daniel Craig could pull that off. But Meryl
Yeah, that'll
Streep
be
as
cool to
Aslan
see
makes
him play that.
zero sense, man.
Now this is Culture Crave, so this isn't official news or anything. And last
Yeah,
we
but
heard
Meryl
when we
Streep
went
was
over,
already officially announced, though, right?
I don't think it was official. It was when we had talked about it. It was that rumors were she had been asked or like she had been approached or whatever. So like we still don't really know the full.
I mean, she could have been the fucking White Witch, honestly.
Yeah, Meryl Streep could have pulled off the White Witch.
Yeah,
She might
if
not
she's
be
anything like
classically like super beautiful, but they could
Devil Wears Prada, like when
Yeah,
she
she could
was
have pulled that off, man.
the villain in that. But yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, you need some guy with like gravitas in his voice and like some kind of presence for Aslan.
Like Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Right? He was in the original.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was Aslan in the original.
Yeah.
I know because of the don't cite the spells to me, which I was there when they were written.
Yeah, I was there when they were written.
Could've got
And he
Morgan
was.
Freeman for that shit.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman would have been great.
Anyway, so well, we also movie news that as we've talked about basically every week. One thing I also wanted to do when on hiatus is to kind of like cut all of the stuff we do. Like 1 week we talked about Fantastic Four, and then the next week we cut it all together into like a big block. Because we still have more Fantastic Four news as more things come out, but this one was at least like we were kind of waiting to talk about it. And that is the first look at Galactus in Fantastic Four First Steps. And
all right. I mean,
it looks like way too. I don't know.
CGI.
Yeah, way too CGI.
Well, I mean,
it looks like video game CGI almost.
Well, I'll tell you, like the way the composition is.
It looks better in the trailer.
Well, I think so. The thing with this is, from what I was finding of it, it was coming from like this picture basically, or like renders like this. So I think it's like a leak from like one of the mobile games or something, like because this looks saying.
Looks
This
like
looks
a
like
video
the
game character.
this looks like the fighting game, like the Contest of Champions mobile game or whatever. Like this looks like it's a leak from like that, but it still gives us like that's more or less
Oh, gotcha. Like
what
what
he'll
the
look like.
design is gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, but then people were having this like high res image, and I don't know where people were really getting it, but there were other images floating around from like marketing and stuff.
I could have swore
Uh,
I saw a video clip too where it's like it might have been the end credits of the Fantastic Four where his like head is like peeking up through a giant skyscraper. You like see it from the
yeah,
person's
that's in the
inside
that's in the trailer.
Oh, that's in the trailer.
the-
Okay.
Yeah, when because then he turns his head and he looks at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that looked dope there.
Yeah, and then that was
It
I don't
doesn't
know.
look
The
like
more I look at
this.
this, the more jank it looks, man.
Yeah,
I'm starting to like.
I don't think this is gonna be it in the movie.
well, some
Yeah, they've
people
got to do
were
a
like
lot of cleaning up, man. That face is fucking horrible.
some people were changing the colors to like give him a
Brighter look.
brighter look. And some people did notice that he has like texture on him that
Mhm.
makes him look like the Death Star basically.
Yes.
And
That's
instead
cool.
of just having like a solid texture.
Her, nose like a Minecraft villager.
To me, more than anything, he looks like Miles Teller. Like he looks like this part of him looks like
It looks like a saggy old man.
Yeah,
The
I don't
face
think
looks like
this
a
is
saggy
what.
old man.
I don't think it's gonna look anything like this in the movie.
Where did you find this? Where'd this come from?
this is floating around on Twitter with all like the Fantastic Four news, but I haven't seen it linked to
Mhm.
anything like an official first look. I think it's like basically because like there's a lot of marketing stuff, like Funko Pop stuff is coming out.
His skin looks like Groot's. Like I don't remember
Yeah.
Galactus having, you know, sort of skin that was all mechanical looking or whatever.
Yeah.
Textured like that. There's the word.
Yeah,
Texture.
the face texturing.
I mean,
Tory
you can
fan-
tell this is either an AI mock-up or something. You can tell by
Well,
if
like
you
I
look at
s-
the horns off his helmet. Like those are
It may have been an AI upscale of this,
Huh.
but like I said, like I've seen this floating around.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
yeah, I've seen it a few times that I've been on Twitter this past weekend. I saw it a couple times. I just never clicked on it and looked at it.
The CG looks dated, therefore it's not a visual. Ruby, I don't know if you've
I don't
watched an
think- yeah,
MCU
for real.
thing in a while,
Their CG
but
is
CG is
horrible.
getting worse.
like I talked about Thunderbolts last week, it had some bad CG in some parts.
Have you seen Craven CGI? That shit is abysmal. A Tory
But
fan,
no, that-
Galactus should be bigger than the planet, but I guess originally he can change his size.
Yeah, he can change his size, yeah. Or he rides on just a big ship. Anyway, no, the composition of this, what it reminded me of, was you'll know this, Snowman, but it's the Ultimate Alliance
Now that
scene that never got followed
Minecraft
up
villager
on.
shit stuck in my head.
They dare steal from
Like that's just
Oh, yeah.
that's just what it reminded me of was the
For
Yeah.
that, I will destroy their planet.
Yeah, I'm a little behind, but yeah.
yeah. That's how you show off Galactus in a thing. It's just like have him be just like head right up next to a planet. You know, like-
Yes, like you see, like how they did it when he's looking in the skyscraper. It should be like when you're looking up in the sky and you see a motherfucker's giant eyeball, like bigger than the sun.
Yeah.
It's like that would be
Uh,
insane.
Or even like what Jack Kirby did in the original story where it was like literally doomsday is coming. Like the idea of like the sky turns red and the whole atmosphere fills with like asteroids and stuff. And it's just like, what is happening? You know, and then it's just, and then Silver Surfer comes down and he's like, by the way, well, actually the Watcher came first and he's like, by the way, you know, the whole world's about to get eaten. So have fun with that.
I just bought a bunch of Silver Surfer actually.
I was
I just bought
watching
a
it.
bunch of crystal meth. actually.
No, that's what I call my Silver Surfer. Actually,
I was watching a video about the 2099 stories, and Silver Surfer 2099 is crazy.
oh, I need to peep that. I didn't even know he had a
Uh,
2099.
Yeah, it's more of a recent thing. It's not a 90s one, because they did a lot of stuff with 2099 since then. But basically, the idea is that he's an Earth guy who doesn't make a deal with Galactus. He makes a deal with Mephisto. And Mephisto makes him his herald. And what
Oh,
he
that's
does is
cool.
he goes to people, and he's like one of the ones they showed is like a mom dying, and it's like, hey, you want to live, have more time with your kids? Well, Mephisto's gonna offer you a deal, right? And it's like and then he's still like he breaks away from Mephisto because of that or whatever, and then that's how he becomes like basically it's like combining Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer.
Yep.
But yeah, that's cool. I thought that was a cool gimmick. We also had news or like I said, there's a lot of like marketing stuff. So we get the more look at the Fantastic Four. I was seeing like one of them was from like a book, like it was like here's these renders, and they were in like a kid's book about like breaking them down and stuff like that, or like the back of like toys and stuff like that. How you see that? So we see like
Exactly.
Reed,
Yeah. He's not going to look
Reed
like that in the movie.
Reed looks good here. This is a.
Come on, man.
I mean, like
Pedro.
it's still Pedro.
It's still
I mean,
Pedro, bro. Like,
but
all right, he
it's
looks
not
as
like-
good as he can for what he is. Like, come on, man.
He has overstayed his welcome, dude.
I will say that I also watched
Yeah.
that. I always forget to mention it, but I also watched the recent Last of Us, and it was a good one. But Pedro was completely done now, and so I'll imagine how many people just drop off.
Yep.
But they did the scene that I thought was going to happen like at the end of the show, right? But they were just like, yeah, let's just do it now, and it's like, all right. So now we don't have to like Pedro's just gone now. They have no scenes that will require Pedro anymore. So.
Jesus Christ, man.
Might
That'd be
watch
nice.
it now, actually.
That'd work. Yeah, I'd actually be into it. I'm Pedro Pascal the fuck out. To be honest
Exactly.
with
He's a
you.
poor man's
Well,
Eric Bana. I swear
He
is,
said
dude.
that the other day. He's the
I
gay
swear he
man's
is.
Eric Bana.
Yeah, he's
Stop
the gay
it.
man's Eric Bana.
Well, then also like Bella Ramsey also acted pretty well in that episode too. So it's like, all right, you got some
This
stuff
chick's
there.
attractiveness is kind of growing on me. She's kind of hot.
Yeah, she's a good suit, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
that's the
looks-
best casting that they did so far.
Yep,
Yeah.
Everyone else is weak and soy.
Weak soy.
Johnny looks better here than he does in the actual trailer. Like his hair in that trailer with that weird like.
He still looks like a stupid lesbian though.
Nah, this is Johnny.
Nah,
This
man.
is Johnny.
I know somebody with that haircut, and that's a chick haircut, dude.
Anyway, no, it was better because you remember what he looks like in the trailer, right? How he has that weird, like, very
Like
flat,
soft look with that
like
weird
it looks like
bowl cut thing.
looks like the classic Lego hair that like from Lego
Yeah, it
Star
looks
Wars
like
would
Samurai
use for
Snowman's hair.
everybody. And he just stuck it right
I
on
got
there.
long. I got Aslan's hair, bro.
Logan Paul
Yeah,
would have been a good choice
you mean
as Ruby.
Meryl
No, he wouldn't have.
Meryl Streep looking ass motherfucker.
Yeah,
you
more
couldn't
than that.
screw up-
More of that.
You couldn't
than,
screw up
Chinese
Sue.
films.
Like we said, as bad
Ah
as
man,
the other,
they they gave it a good damn try. They just couldn't.
as bad
somehow,
as like Van Forstick was, the 2015 one, like Sue's not bad in that though. Like Kate Mara wasn't bad.
I mean, that whole cast is actually pretty fucking good. I don't even remember who Thing is, but
I think
I mean,
yeah, he's just a dude. He wasn't even like he's completely forgettable because of that, because he's all CGI.
mm-hmm.
And he doesn't even do a voice. He's just like a tough guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm just a thing."
I'm just a New Yorker. That's all I am.
He doesn't even do the
thing.
voice. There's not even a New Yorker voice in the 2015 movie.
Cowards.
Yeah, but he's like,
Um,
oh yeah, he does it in the you said 2015 version. Yeah.
2015, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi
guys, I'm the Thing. How's it going?
Yeah, he's just trying to be
Fuck
tough.
off
Like
my
he's like,
face.
"Oh, I'm the thing. I'm tough." And he thought I did stuff for the military. Like Fantastic Four 2015 is just so bad. Like
It's very bad. It had potential to do something really cool and different, but
Fan
Until
Four
fuck
stick,
it.
Ruby. 2015.
Fan
The
four
original,
stick.
the original two, I like them because I grew up with them. They try really hard, so I can give them respect. But people don't. Some people will watch it nowadays. They don't look at you kindly because it's very cartoony. It's very comic booky. But in yeah, it's a lot of those 2000 movies are kind of like that. The Raimi movies, especially, the Raimi Spider-Mans, they're kind of goofy. But thing looks good here. I still am not sold on the sweater. I would have preferred. There's concept art where he's shirtless. I would have preferred that, or at least like trunks, like shirtless and trunks, to be different. Because otherwise, like Michael Chiklis thing was shirtless with pants. Fan Four Stick thing was completely naked. But like I don't know, trunks or something. But it's his voice is what kills the thing for me. Like voice bad for Thing, hair bad for Johnny.
It's clobbering time.
Sue's fine, and then Pedro is Pedro.
Pedro looks so stupid, man.
I didn't even call him Reed. That's how much he does not sell Reed for me. The same reason I didn't want Krasinski to play Reed. Because I'm like, he's not Reed for me. He does not sell it.
Way better than Pedro, though.
No, honestly, I don't think so. I'll have to see him, but like Krasinski was bad as Reed, and I always said that. He looked like Reed for a time, but not when he finally played him. He was way too old then. But no, Krasinski was a terrible Reed because he's just a soldier guy. Like that's all Krasinski plays, and that's not who Reed is. I said going into that I wanted Krasinski to play 60s Nick Fury. He needed to play military Nick Fury, or Nick Fury Senior, depending on what continuity. But like he should have played that, like in a variant of the Nick Fury. That's the original white Nick Fury. That's like the more super military blue suit, all that stuff. Would have been great. Him as Reed, people only wanted him to play Reed because he was tall with brown hair and he has a blonde wife. That was it. That was all they wanted. I'm like, no, you fools. And we finally got it. He sucked. And I'm like, see?
Yeah, I would have preferred someone other than him as well, but he's more likable than Pedro, at least.
He's just like likable is different. He's not Reed. That's the thing. Like
I'm just tired of being exhausted from these casting choices with everything. Like for fuck's sakes, man. They knew Pedro Pascal wasn't a fucking Reed Richards, and they done it anyway just because he was popular. And I guess they thought like women still like Pedro, but like women like Pedro in Game of Thrones and stuff like that. They're not.
And
I don't hear
Last of Us.
I haven't heard anybody that I know that's a female go, "Ooh, that Pedro in The Last of Us." I haven't heard any of them say that since Game of Thrones.
He was in the Gladiator 2 also, wasn't he?
Gladiator that was a fart in the wind, right?
Well,
that's crazy.
My perspective.
We didn't even talk about it.
I know.
No, that movie came and went.
It's pretty good though. One of my friends seems to like it a lot.
I will say that like my perspective is different because in my free time literally watch people watch shows, right? But like people, people are still kind of into Pedro, but there is definitely Pedro fatigue is a thing. That's why he's just got to sell me. Like Pedro can act. He's just got to sell me on like what he is that he's, like you got to sell me on being Reed. I don't see this as Reed, right? Like I've said before,
I see it as a guy trying to sell me oranges or clean my windshield at a stoplight.
I see it as like Ian from the original 2 Fantastic Four movies is still the peak. He had everything that he needed to be Reed. He had the dorkiness, the charm, the wanting to help Ben. Like it was everything that he got it all through, right? And then Miles, I haven't seen that movie since it came out. It was Miles, right? I always get him confused with
He was too young. I think
he's too young.
Miles would have been pretty damn good.
Like people still want him to come back. They want him to be the maker. Like they want him to have gone crazy because he's the perfect Reed to fill that role.
Just Pedro in blue.
So it's literally like it's one of those casting choices that is just like I can't see the character here. I only see the actor.
Yeah,
that is what Pedro is.
And he's not a strong enough actor to pull it off. I'm sorry. So yeah,
I think he can be. It's just that he's been working so much. He phones everything in. Like
he's been in a lot.
Like that recent Last of Us was good. I'm like, yeah, he's good. Like paid, and like the season 2 finale of Mandalorian, right? Well, that was great. But like everything else, he's just always so like, I got like 9 things right now, and and even
Yeah,
so,
I'm not
like
gonna watch The Last of Us.
being
I can't do it.
being a good actor, it's like, yeah, like he can do his emotional scenes and all that, but it's like Reed is, if he can take in the role as Reed, then great. But like he just doesn't, his range, I don't think can match Reed. Like I'll say that. Like
From
I
the
said
trailer,
before
I'm
that,
just not convinced yet.
no, like in the trailer, he looks more like a Stark. I said he looks more like a Stark. Like he could have played a Howard Stark if those
Yeah.
roles are when he played by two different people, you know. He could have
I was
played a
gonna
Howard
make that
Stark in these
comment,
movies.
Ruby. Pedro's only good in Narcos. Yeah, give me fat sad Pedro, please.
And well, like, and remember, he was in Wonder Woman 84.
Yep.
He wasn't good in that.
Oh
But
my
that
God, I
was,
don't even remember that.
I blame the scripting. You don't remember? He's the villain of Wonder Woman
Yeah.
84.
He's Maxwell Lord.
For some reason, I
Max-
completely forgot about that.
Everyone
It's
forgot about that movie, kinda.
yeah, and then James Gunn's brother is gonna play him in the new universe. But
Gay as fuck, by the way.
and everyone was like Maxwell Lord is actually a Trump allegory.
I forgot about that. Fuck.
Who Gunn said that?
No, it's people on the internet were like, because he's like he's got the fake tan and the blonde hair, and he's a businessman, and he's evil, and
fucking Hollywood, bro. I
Yeah.
swear.
Tory Fan
Just
says
suck your
Pedro
own
is
dick
good in
somewhere
Game of
else.
Thrones. He just started lefting. I think he means like being more of a leftist. Well, like
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
be
he
like
did.
you could
Now
be
he was
the
great in
dirtiest.
Game of Thrones as the Viper or whatever, but like
You can be the biggest commie ever. I mean, like you could
As long as
still
you're
be a
an
good
actor.
actor.
Yeah.
yeah, like Mark Hamill
look,
was
man.
like big lefty, and he's still great as the Joker. Like
yeah, but that's all he's got.
Pretty
That's the
much.
only thing I
it's
ever heard
it's all he
anybody say.
does.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
the
was
only thing I've
kind of
ever heard
that
anybody say he was good
before-
at.
Yeah, he was already that before he started turning into a raging leftist anyway, right? Like he didn't give a fuck.
Well,
in the
everyone.
90s
I
about
think
anything.
everyone was really everyone is a raging leftist now was a raging leftist back in the '90s. It's just we weren't so politically divided; they weren't so mad.
Yeah, he didn't have a platform like Twitter to go and rage on.
Yeah, Ruby King says Wonder Woman 84 could have been way better. Yeah, that was a huge step down from like Wonder Woman 2016 is still probably my favorite of the DC EU movies.
Simp, fuck, soy,
Reported
or
unsubscribe.
block. What about even Gunn's Suicide Squad?
See, like I'd have to I'd have to go back through them all. I remember Wonder Woman being top up there for a while, but that was before I saw Gun Suicide Squad. But
It's just the ending for Wonder Woman, like really.
yeah,
drags
the
movie
one
down
the
for me.
ending does take a nosedive. I'll give it that. So yeah, I'd have to almost go back through them all, and I don't really want to. But I'll put it's above definitely a lot of the starting ones. Like it's above Man of Steel, Scribe
Aquaman?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't care, bro. I love Man of Steel. No one's ever gonna say anything about it to make me not love
Aquaman is strong. Like because I think Aquaman and Wonder Woman came out like pretty close. Like it was like they had some hitters come out right after one after the other. But Shazam was also good.
Gal Gadot or Preston, are you trying to say Gal Gadot?
it. Yes.
She was good in 2016. I don't know why in 84 they were just completely phoning that movie in. Like, man.
Yeah, but they hired her not for her skill, but for her look, because she nailed the look.
Yep.
And she nailed the look. And like I said, in Batman v Superman, in Wonder Woman, she was perfectly fine. Even Justice League, I
Yeah.
think. Well, besides the
She's
Kal-El,
fine.
no. She didn't hit that one.
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, no.
But like in this one,
no.
That's not
in
that big deal.
84, when she's like, Maxwell Lord, you have to give me the stone. Like it was the worst. I'm like, oh,
I
God.
need the stone.
Yeah, I just watch Wonder Woman on mute.
Shazam
with my
Shazam
pants
was
off.
fun and better than Aquabro, says Grumpy. I know that Grumpy probably doesn't like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Can already tell.
Oh yeah,
which
you
I
know
get.
he does it.
I get because he is like completely different. He's like Aquabro, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the reason that he wanted to be Lobo,
Yep.
because that's what Momoa basically is. He plays, that's why he's a perfect
Yeah.
Lobo, and he'll be
Yeah,
great
he
as
wouldn't
Lobo
even have
in
to
Supergirl.
act. He would just have to be himself. Just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, "What am I? Just you have to replace every fuck with frag? Yeah, she would give a shit."
Yeah, sure, man. We can
That would
do
be
that.
cool.
Well, remember that's how Lobo swears, right? So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lobo's awesome. He's got, dude. They totally fucked his design over in the new 52. Made him look like
oh yeah.
such
Well,
a
then
bitch.
they had original Lobo kill that version though. So
Oh hell yeah. Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
like that basically because when they brought Lobo back in, so basically the creator of Lobo hated the way that 90s comics were all edgy and all that, so he made Lobo to parody 90s characters. Lobo is a parody of the 90s comics. And then
But he
and so he's like,
still
I
partakes.
fucking hate all this. Lobo blew in popularity, right? Blew up in popularity. And the guy always hated it. He's like, I fucking hate Lobo. Like, I hate that I
Wait,
made
the
Lobo.
guy who created him?
Yeah, like one of the guys, or like the guy that created one of the guys created like hate because he was meant to be a parody of all that stuff. He was just like, man,
See,
fucking
the
I hate
issue is
writing this bullshit.
The issue is, it's like, why, if you hate writing it, he's super violent and he does all the shit you're making fun of. It's like, what is the point of that?
That's just the thing. It's just like I hate doing it's not what comics should be kind of thing. But anyway, so then when they get him to write New 52, I believe he's like, well, now I'm going to do the Lobo that it should be, right? Is this heroic, last prince of his nation or whatever? And everyone's
Comics
like,
can be
"Boo,
all kinds of shit.
this fucking Lobo sucks."
Yeah, he looked like a bitch.
Wait till he
The
reads
design
Crimson
was
Veil.
generic as shit.
Like New 52.
A Tory fan, I'm not
Lobo-
gonna put up with that. All right, not here, nerd.
New 52 Lobo was so lame. Like, I'm
Very
trying to
lame.
find a good.
His
picture of
costume
him.
was generic. He was like male Yaira. He looked like.
He just is like a I can get a good picture of him.
Completely different character.
Like he's just like a Twinkie Submariner looking dude with like Halo energy weapons.
If comics
Who the
aren't
fuck is this supposed to be?
This is Lobo.
Lobo.
This is New 52 Lobo. Because the
Oh,
guy
I'm
that made
glad
it
I
was like,
missed this.
I fucking hate Lobo.
came
I
and
hate
went.
Lobo. I hate Lobo. I hate that I
What
made
the
Lobo.
fuck? Why is he? Yes, why is he Submariner? With Halo weapons and like they turned Wolverine into a twink, and then
Yeah.
gave him like
Yeah.
stupid Halo weapons.
Mm-hmm. Looks nothing like the original design. Why, if you hate all the violence and everything that comics was in the 90s, why would you go and write and make the character who was all that? I don't care if you say it's a parody. You got to do it where it's not hyper violent like that or something.
Yeah, and then
dude.
so then in Rebirth, original Lobo shows up, and then he kills New 52 Lobo, and he takes over as main Lobo again. So
Yeah, so dumb. His original design is way cooler. I
there's
mean,
only one Lobo.
his sense of humor. I mean, he had a great personality, and his story
Like-
was the space bounty hunter. I mean, shit's dope. Man.
This
Comics.
this Lobo is the equivalent of like DMC Devil May Cry, right?
Yep.
The Ninja Theory game
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like, what is this? What are we doing?
Was that game any good though? I never got to play that one.
I mean, so
Did
the,
anyone
all right,
play that one?
so that character, the Lobo character right there, doesn't look terrible, but it's not Lobo.
It's not
Hey,
Lobo.
Yeah,
It's a
you
boring
could have
design.
just done him. I don't hate the design, but for Lobo, it's terrible.
Yeah, he is perfectly fine for being like, I'm the last the remaining member of your race, actually. or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
member of the race. Yeah, he could do that, but he's not Lobo. Like Lobo's supposed to be, like a
Very
long-haired,
edge.
yeah,
Hyper violent.
a super leather daddy edgelord,
Yeah.
like Jesker James.
He says it's
Who is
nothing
not
like
here.
Devil May Cry, not even it. Ruby, you know what I'm talking about? Like the Ninja Theory Devil May Cry game, the reboot.
Yeah, the DMT, the Devil May Cry game,
Yeah,
because it was called Devil May
yeah,
Cry
it was,
DMC.
it was
or
DM,
whatever.
it was DMC Devil May Cry.
The
Yeah,
light-skinned-
DMC
the
DMC,
light-skinned
basically.
Bolt.
And he's,
Yeah,
he's
which-
trying to
which
be
that game-
cool and hip
game-
and modern.
That character got so panned that they had to put a skin in there to like revitalize the
Yeah,
character.
after
so people
saying
would play the game.
after a scene in the beginning of the game where a mop falls on Dante's head, giving him the original hair or wig or whatever it was, he goes and he looks at the
Yeah.
camera. He goes, not in a million years. And he throws
Not
it
in
off.
a million years. Did it?
And then they
5
put the
minutes
hair
later.
in the game. They
Yeah.
put the hair in the game.
5
Which
seconds.
I did
later.
appreciate how that got a reference in DMC5 though. That was cool.
Yeah, DMC5,
Uh,
good game actually.
They in Virgil's fight, when he makes a duplicate of himself, which is a power that DMC Virgil had. He goes, "Think you can beat me, Dante? Not in a million years." And it's like, man, that's cool. Like you did it to be like nice. You weren't trying to be like,
Yeah,
fuck
Devil
that
May
game.
Cry's
Like,
always been good at those like weird edgy
Yeah.
action movie puns though.
yeah. But no, and so they did throw that in there.
It's an
Ruby
underrated
King
franchise,
says,
honestly.
"Shit, Dante, but good game." I don't think so. I boo this man. Boo him.
Why?
That
What's
game
wrong
was
with-
terrible. The game was
Eh,
terrible.
I haven't.
Bro, the
I mean,
game
I've
was
seen
not good.
like super fans play both, and it's like, yeah, they don't like it, but like it tries, but also like, yeah, you kind of don't. Like, there's a reason there's no DMC 2. You know?
Yeah, there's a reason there's no Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah, but he was in PlayStation All Stars. That was cool.
It's underrated franchise. Besides that one game.
Yeah, and then his hair slowly becomes white anyway. So
Yeah. Dmod Ruby and kick him from the chat, please.
what's better, DMC 2 or DMC? I believe DMC. DMC 2 is completely like
Now,
borderline. From what I hear, DMC 2 is unplayable.
now
Yeah.
Ruby's writing like Preston does. Have you played it, Cynic? Yeah, and it's terrible. It does not hold up to the other Devil May Cry games.
Even 2?
Yeah, I like 2 way better, personally.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 3 I played the fuck out of.
3,
sucks.
wait, is 3, no,
3
4.
is the flash.
think it
3 is
might
the
have been-
flashback with
Yeah, 3 is
Virgil
the
and
flashback,
Dante.
and 4 is the one where you run all the way in one direction. Is what it was? It Bird?
Nero, and then you go back.
Yeah,
as
Nero,
Dante.
and then you go back. Yeah, that one aggravated the piss out of me, but
Yeah.
even that one was better than
3
Devil
is
May
like
Cry.
I think
Devil
the
May Cry.
best because of like what you're getting out of it.
I don't know, man. I have a soft spot for 1. I really do. Something
Yeah,
about
well,
1.
one is different because 1 is more of a one is a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, there's
DMC
yeah,
1 was created to be a Resident Evil game basically, and then they changed it.
yeah, with
in
the
development.
camera and all that stuff, the
Yeah.
fixed cameras and stuff.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
a
the
unique
only.
experience.
That's the only annoying part about that entire game was the fixed cameras, because sometimes you'd be fighting an enemy and like you'd go a little too far, and so you'd have to like come back because now you can't see the fucking enemy or whatever. But other than that, it was damn near a perfect game, in my opinion. My humble,
But-
himbo retarded opinion.
DMC
Also-
3 is like you get your Virgil, you get your Dante, you get Lady, you get Trish.
Yeah.
You know, those are all playable characters, right? You know, and
Yeah, I
That's-
love 3. Played the fuck
I think it's a good story. It's what it's what all the other games are built around its mold, right? With its action and its, you know, crazy over the top stuff and all that. But
Yeah.
I gotta get those, like, but I fear like not being good at the combat.
You get good at it. I
Coward.
mean, you get fine at it as long as you're not trying to really go for. As long as you're not one of those people that have to go for SS scores or whatever,
Yeah.
you'll be fine, because that shit, yeah, you've got to fucking, you really got to get good to get the, to complete the game like that.
This smoking sexy style.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of those type of games coming out soon.
The game is Ruby says DMC Devil May Cry is decent. I will say that the one part that I have seen that I think was cool is the part where you're attacking like the soda factory or whatever, but you're being filmed on the news. So you do that, like the whole battle is in a different camera angle the whole time. Like I always like missions like that in video games where they change the angle and they lock the camera, so then you have to play it
Yeah.
from that perspective. But otherwise, like the only ever thing I've seen out of that whole DMC is just people making fun of it and Virgil sniping a lady's baby, you know, and
Oh, that sounds dope.
hey,
That
Ruby
Vir-
can sit there and say that it's a good game, but it's not a good game because of what they were trying to do. They were trying to reboot a beloved fucking franchise, and I have to be like Grumpy on this scenario, right? You know how Grumpy canonically hates everything.
everything new.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Because of what they were trying to do, yeah, the game fucking sucks. If it would have just came out and it was like a spin-off of Devil May Cry, pretty much, right? Like, give me a new character in the world, the game probably would have settled a little bit better on me. But
or
when I
spiritual successor. Like, yeah, we're giving
I-
it. It's a different name, but
maybe,
the,
maybe
everything
that's
mechanics are the same. You know.
yeah, maybe, but it would have been a hard fucking sell for me, right? Because you didn't complete the other fucking story.
Yeah, they're
What are
trying
you
to reboot it
doing?
because Devil May Cry didn't. I read something recently. There was it's not because Devil May Cry 4 didn't do. Oh, it was all of like Capcom. All of Capcom was
Yeah,
going through really
Capcom was
bad
sort of
struggles,
floundering. Yeah,
and they had something very specific where it's like the Western audience isn't buying our games at all, so we have to make games that are like as Western as possible, and that was one of them was DMC Devil May
yeah,
Cry.
but that's the thing though. I don't know about you guys. Snowman, you're a pretty big JRPG player, right? And like Japanese game guy, right?
I used to maybe not JRPG so much, but I
But like
mean,
Japanese game design
yeah,
itself. Like we've had
FromSoft is like my shit.
yeah, we've had pretty in-depth conversations about this before, and I know a couple other people in our little circle of friends are pretty big JRPG people. Like, I don't want Japanese companies making Western games. Make your goofy Japanese game. That's why I like you. That's why I enjoy manga, right?
Mhm.
That's why I do enjoy some anime because you're a goofy Japanese place. Let the retarded people in the West make our Western edgelord games, and
Well,
if they're good, I'll buy them. Don't try to like, you know,
pander.
yeah,
Americanized.
pander. Yeah,
That's
don't
a general
Americanize
rule
your
for me.
shit.
Don't
Yeah,
try
like
to
if they,
do something you're not. Don't
yeah,
try to be
that's why
something
like
you're
all
not.
the Western versions of the FromSoft games are shit. They're
Yeah, all
just
the
not
Souls
good.
like a lot of
Yeah,
American Souls likes are just like watered down
they're
versions of
just
that.
not good. The only ones that have ever succeeded was
I
God,
played a
what was
lot of
that?
good Souls likes, but nothing like
Mortal
FromSoft
Shell was
games.
fantastic, but it was
I
too
hate
short.
that game.
Was
You're
Surge
you're
Western?
Surge is Western, and I was about to say Surge is probably
Even
the
then, I
best
wouldn't
one.
call that a
Oh, I love
success. It
Surge.
just wasn't a failure. But Surge,
I mean,
it
I
didn't.
loved Surge though. I thought Surge was
But like
great.
Surge
Yeah,
didn't
there's
like.
not many. There's not many though. Is the point?
Surge just didn't like capture like.
Yeah, but I think
It
that was
didn't
more
like
the I think that was more the character designs and stuff, right? And a lot of people didn't realize like the armors that you got and stuff may be a little goofy looking, a little janky looking or whatever, but the
Yeah.
more you played the
That was the
game,
charm
the
of it, I think.
yeah, to me I liked it, right? Sort of
Mhm.
piecemealing your armor together like that. And then later on as you get further in the game, you get cooler and cooler looking shit.
And it
And
probably really didn't take off until 2 anyway, because 1 wasn't the greatest. 2 was the
It
shit
says,
though.
yeah,
I'm a
2 was
big
dope.
JRPG player. I'm a 40-year-old trucker that has every hyperdimension game.
Yeah,
I
there you
have
go.
2 hyperdimension Neptunia games, and they were
Like there's not
Never
a
heard
lot
of
of there's not a lot of Japanese stuff that like I weeb out or act like a nerd over, right? Like when it comes to their entertainment, but their games are clearly superior because of the weird shit that they do. Stop
well, yeah,
trying to
like
like pander to me.
well, even like in a case like Yakuza, right? Like Yakuza
Yeah.
is Japanese weirdness at its fullest. It struggled to find footing in the West for a long time, though. You know,
Yeah, but
and
the
then
moment you play it, you realize what it is. You realize the charm of it.
some companies in Japan didn't even like go to the West because a lot of them were just like they're not going to get it, or we don't want them to get it because we don't care about them, right? And then those are the ones where they like those games that don't get ports or they didn't get ports for the longest time, and they're like, we're they don't know what they're not going to understand it. Their sensibilities are all too weird, but yeah, so like it's been
Just make your
talked
damn
about.
game, put it out. Dark Souls just made their damn game and it blew up. And people are gonna like fall in love with it or they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that. But it's the Western market it was already failing. And if you look at the greater games on PlayStation, for example, was from Japan Studios, right? The Sony Japan Studios. And then they closed that to Americanize everything. And what have they had since then?
Yeah.
Right, one of the biggest games of all time was Final Fantasy VII, and like JRPGs weren't like. I mean, there was some on like Super Nintendo, I guess, but
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't nothing like that. And I mean, American gamers fucking loved that game.
I-
Maybe
I-
that's
have
part of the
either
reason why.
have either one of you ever played Nier or any of the
No,
Drakengard games?
I've not played Nier yet.
All right,
Or
so
Drakengard.
Drakengard is a hard sell, but like if you fall in love with the actual Nier world, you'll probably want to at least collect the games if you can afford them, right? Because some of them are kind
Nier
of
is
expensive now.
is in the Drakengard universe.
Drakengard, the end of Drakengard leads into Nier.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, they're in the same universe, and there's a whole I mean, I'll send you a playlist of stuff to watch, bro. It is amazing. How Platinum Studios did that shit. But like near on the surface level, right? So you got near replicant, near gestalt, and you can do either one of those. So old man near, kid near. Kid near to me is way better personally. But and then you got near automata. And on the surface, it's just a fun game, right? It's a fun action game. You get to do like the RPG elements of collecting swords and all this, leveling your character up, doing all this other stuff. But if you continue playing it, man, it's like 5 games in one. Like in
Mhm.
order to get the final and best story, you got to beat the game like 5 times and do
Right.
different stuff. Like one part of it, if I remember correctly, I've got one ending I'm missing on Near Replicant, and you've got to grow like corn. Like there's a farming element to it, and you got to grow like corn or like these certain flowers or whatever it is in order to have them, like go give them to a certain person in order to get the best ending to fully 100% the game. And then on Near Rep or Near Automata, man, in order to beat the whole game, like you can beat it just one time. I had fun. That's a great game. But in order to get the entire story,
Beat it
you've
like
got to beat it
3
like 5
times.
times. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's 4 times actually.
Which very few things I know about Near Automata is the ending, I believe, where the idea is like how it's like you get one more like you failed, you get
Yeah.
one more shot, but you need someone else's save file in order
Yes.
to do it. And then
Yeah,
once
you
you
have
beat
to,
it,
like
it's like now you have to put yours up. So someone
Yeah,
else
you have to
can use it.
delete
Like,
your
I love
save
that.
file.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Right.
to delete your save file in order. So like the way they do it is like if you delete your save file, you like power up the character in order to like it's a community thing, right? And if you don't do it, then you can't 100% the game and all this other stuff. And you really I mean I saved my game onto like a literal thumb drive and then deleted the file. So I could always go back and like replay it if I wanted to. But there's a charm to doing that goofy, weird shit that you would never get. You'll never get that in a Western game studio. They're going to give you
Yeah.
1, maybe 2 endings, and then you're done. And then they're going to give you some sort of live service, multiplayer pack DLC
Yeah.
add-on that they're going to milk you for seasons every couple
Ben
months.
says,
or-
Cynic, explain why Ubisoft co-published Drakengard 2.
Mm. That what I don't exactly know. I used to know. But yeah, the Drakengard, the entire Drakengard stuff from Platinum Studios is a fantastic story in Japanese gaming and Japanese studios just being persistent and putting out what the fuck they want and coming out with probably one of the biggest games. I would say Nier Automata, yeah, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, is probably one of the top 20 games of all time. If you ask me.
That's a hard sell.
Well,
Really? That game was
I'll
fucking
say
huge.
I'll say it for it's one of those that it's like if you know
Like most
then
successful
you're
games?
no
or
like
just
I just like of like impact.
Yeah, and then Gaming
Um,
Impact, because it took over for like, dude, it was one of those games that never went on sale for like 4 or 5 fucking years.
Wow,
You
they
just
popped
couldn't.
Chainsaw.
It just never went down in price. It just always was $59.99 unless you bought it
Yeah,
used.
I'll say like from what I saw, like one of the people that I watched, Snowman knows them, the best friends. It
Yeah.
was I think it was Wooly that said that Nier Automata was the only game he's ever played that made him cry at the end. That it's like that's how much that
All right. So I
that
just
game is
Googled it,
like.
and according to Reddit's list of games and GQ's list of games, of ranking games of all time, it was number 38 on Reddit, and it was number 43 on GQ. So, okay, I could say I'll
There's just
gladly accept it's
there's
top
just a
50.
fuckload of games. That's why it's
It's-
like when anyone tries to do
Yeah, but
their
dude, the
top
cultural
20
impact of
rappers
Nier
all
Automata
time, I'm
was
like, dude, that's
massive.
Yeah, well, especially when you look at just 2B, right? You don't even like take out Nier
Yeah.
Automata as the art that it is if you play it, right? Because I haven't played
Yeah.
it, but I can only just gather from what people have said. But like 2B is in literally like every Japanese video game since that thing came out. Like
Yeah,
she's
and
been
you
in
want to
like
talk
all
about a
sorts
chick
of
I'll
like
simp for, and a robot
crossover things and
I'll hook
everything.
up with.
Like it's crazy. So yeah, like I'd say top 50 easy. I mean,
I'll give it that, but to me personally, it's probably in my the Nier series is like a collective. It's definitely in my top 10 of all time games. And there was just something that I was like, all right, I'll give that a shot. And so I got I'd played some of the Drakengard stuff, and then I got near Replicant when they remastered it. And I played it and I was like, holy shit. There is a fucking charm about this game that you will not get. You're not gonna get it in Western games, man.
Cynic playing favorites comes to cyborgs now. Pretty sure she's not.
Yeah,
Is she a
yeah.
cyborg or she's just a automaton? Is she a full robot?
She's an automaton. She's a full robot.
Yeah.
Like literally, if she dies, they just take her brain cube and put it into another automaton.
That's what's gonna happen to us, bro.
Good.
I've been trying to tell you.
Good.
Snowman
Snowman came into Discord the other night and argued with an entire Discord over AI gonna eat the world. It was great.
No one's trying to hear it.
You know what? Well, you know what world AI won't eat?
There it is. That's why I said
Segway.
No, that was not a segue. That was a
damn it.
Gremlin World, baby. Gremlin
That's because
World.
nobody will ever get to eat Gremlin World. It's never coming out.
No, you're gonna eat. You'll eat it when it's done, when it's ready.
AI is gonna come to take Snowman's body, and he's gonna eat all of his weird, loose, scribbled pages of his story.
Oh my god, the AI.
It would have been a good segue if we wouldn't have started with Galactus. See, then I would have gone with like seeing as things that eat worlds is Galactus, But anyway, no, we'll just continue with the casting news. I saw this. I don't know the full validity of it, but the rumored cast for the MCU X-Men. Via Insider, who's an insider, so take it with a grain of salt. But it's Nicholas Goldstein as Angel, Drew Starkey as Iceman, Daisy Edgar Jones as Jean Grey, Patrick Schwarzenegger as Cyclops, Logan Lerman as Beast.
So
I don't know any
Jean Grey looks good. The Cyclops guy looks good. I don't know who the first two guys are, and then the guy for Beast maybe. Because he's going to be CGI'd the fucking back. So
Logan Lerman, his face is familiar. Who is he?
Wait, so is this going to come after Doomsday or before?
Yeah, this will be like that's Percy Jackson from the live action Percy Jackson movies, and he was in Perks Being Wallflower. Okay.
Ben says awesome, no race swapping. I really wish they would get a black guy to play Beast.
Honestly, like I was expecting like people. I mean, that's what tells me this may not be official, right? Because like
I do think you need to swap the first two though, because the second guy looks like a better Angel.
Well, they might want a gay guy to be Iceman, so because they gotta
stick the landing with Charles and Magneto is what it is.
Yeah, rumors are they're seeking out black guys for both of those roles.
Yeah.
They'll
get wrecked, Marvel fans. You fucking dork.
that's been what I mean. Twitter's been wanting that forever. They were wanting they wanted Denzel. They wanted Denzel.
Yeah.
Then,
well, then
you look at Denzel now, and he's like really like
he's basically a black version of Professor X.
Well, it's like he's getting skinnier, so he works better for Professor X now than he did Magneto, because now he's not doing like these cool characters anymore.
God, it's so funny. Get wrecked, Marvel fans. Y'all never they'll never recoup, man.
Gay Iceman. I'm not watching. Ruby, I have some bad news for you.
Yeah, Iceman's super gay.
Iceman's been gay for like probably 20 years by this point.
Like only one of the few like it's fine that he's gay like characters.
Ruby, I mean. Like, he's been gayer longer than you've been gay. And that's impressive.
It's like $1 an hour.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if these are real or not, but there is also.
It's like if they're gonna try to update Magneto to a black guy. It's like what event in the past, however many years, will equate to the fucking Holocaust where a black guy would be Magneto?
Vapent says Jean Grey brainwashed him again. Not what happened. She found the dormant homosexual thoughts in his mind and brought them out into the surface. And then they brought a past version of Iceman to the present and gaslit him to be gay. So when they sent him back in time, Iceman was then retroactively always gay.
Holy fuck.
And we said, not canon.
It is canon.
It is
He's
canon.
been out of the closet in the comics, bro. It's canon
Yeah,
now.
he's gay.
Yeah.
For a
He's
long
gay.
time.
He's never gonna
EVS
be.
read a whole comic of the gay Iceman, bro.
Yeah, they will never. He will never be
Might
straight
not like
again.
it.
He'll
I mean,
never
Yeah,
never be
EVS
straight again.
canonized him.
So,
I mean, Snowman's gay, and y'all accept him.
Yeah, I'm an ice gamer.
yeah, he's our gay Iceman. He's our gay snowman.
Gay Snowman.
Anyway, but this is from Deadline. The Thunderbolts director is in talks to direct the X-Men movie. And that's what makes me think they're gonna like the Doomsday and Secret Wars or whatever will be the truly true last hurrah of the Fox universe, even though it's got like 3 last hurrahs so far. They'll
Grumpy,
be,
I agree. Make your own canon.
and no X-Men is canon since Onslaught, all garbage.
Yeah, the
But
Tom
anyway,
King
so-
Batman run didn't happen to me. Fuck him. But you need to get a different director for this X-Men movie. Sorry, go ahead, Liz.
No, I mean, like, I don't mind them working from within for the ones that do good. Like, I think we talked about it last week.
Good is different than the fucking X-Men. You need like, I don't know.
I mean, how many of
I
those
know you
X-Men
get it.
directors have we had? Like, we've had a lot of X-Men directors. I'd say the X-Men First Class people, like, I think it was like a husband and wife couple. They were great. Like, I would have got them again.
Yeah, I don't even know
X-Men
where they originated from. Where they come from
Yeah.
at all.
But you know, like, you can't get Singer and Ratner. Can't have them.
Nope.
Mangold is doing other stuff. He's not even doing Marvel anymore. But I wouldn't know if he would really do an X-Men. Like, he's a different kind of thing. But the Thunderbolts guy at least could do a team group. So there is that, you know, kind of like Gunn, how you're juggling multiple characters, and the Russos too.
I was
You know,
gonna say,
wanted the
get
Russos. I wanted the Russos to do X-Men, but they want to definitely keep them as their big, make us $1 billion movies.
That's what you
they
need
want.
for X-Men, though, man.
And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But at least this guy proved himself, if you like. The Thunderbolts was a success. You need a good cast, you need good characters, you need good script. You know, people have talked to death about what characters do you have. The ones we just read seems to be they're going with the original Kirby 6 or whatever, right? No Wolverine, no Storm, right? So it's like, you know.
Yeah, they haven't. Once they get Shia LaBeouf to agree to Wolverine, then he'll be in the next one.
Jesus Christ, you're just not gonna let it go, are you?
It's
It's
gonna
not
be
gonna
in, dude.
happen. No,
It's
it's
happening.
not. It's
My
never
head
happening.
canon. It's happening.
If you had to cast Shia LaBeouf as a Gremlin World character, who is it and why is it Red Rancid?
No, he's not. He's got a. Nah, I don't know who Red Rancid would be. Shia LaBeouf, though. I don't know who'd be. I'd probably make a Wolverine character just
You've
for
had a
him.
lot, and 9 were good. First Class was passable. I hate Mangold. Days of Future Past was barely okay. All right, go. Like, Days of Future Past was great. And you hate Mangold? Like, you telling me you hate Logan, Grumpy? Like, how can you
Yeah.
hate Logan because there's no Hulk in it?
I can understand why you might not like Logan.
Guys are making me
but-
excited for X-Men, no matter how gay it is. X-Men can be good. Like, that's the thing. X-Men can be
X-Men's
good.
got a lot of wild ass shit going on in its lore. I've never been a huge X-Men fan either, but I do want to delve into it because I actually like a lot of the characters and the costumes. Like Wolverine's costume is iconic. Cyclops is that costume in that picture right there is fucking dope as shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you're doing, like, we might get them in Secret Wars, the Jim Lee designs, but, like, I hope we just stick with the Jim Lee at all times. Like, it's just, they're the costumes.
yes,
Like,
yes.
the Jim Lee suits are
That's
just,
when Jim Lee was like banging on all cylinders. I think Jim Lee's
Yeah.
kind of overrated as an artist, but
my
his run on
standards are
X-Men
high,
was
wizard.
crazy.
I won't lower them. I dread the day Grumpy reads my comic.
Nah, that's what you want. He'll make it way better from just sheer hatred.
It'll just be like, this is bad.
Be a Gambit costume. Jean Grey looks great.
Yeah, and Jean Grey's like, she's had like the most costumes, I feel like, out of everyone, and this is probably
Yeah, her
the
green
best
one's
one.
really good too. Her green one is good too, but that one,
Yeah.
I mean, it's classic.
Most people just go
Psylocke.
with the Phoenix one. And then,
That's the green one, I think. Or is that the Phoenix one right there?
no, this isn't the Phoenix. There's no Phoenix on her. But yeah, the green one with like the Phoenix one being like the green with
The
the
green
gold
and
gloves
yellow.
and the gold, the thigh
Mhm.
highs and all that. Yeah, the Phoenix
Yep.
costume. The Marvel Girl one's not bad. It just doesn't fit X-Men. and it's not a good
You could
X-Men
even do
costume.
Wolverine's brown and yellow. I probably
You can
like
do the-
Wolverine's brown and yellow better than the blue
Mhm.
and yellow, but either
And
one
like
is
Beast,
fantastic.
you can do whatever.
Yep.
The Rogue, this is the best Rogue look besides Evolution.
Mhm.
But Evolution doesn't count, but like this is a good Rogue look. And Storm did the all white or the black with the like the headpiece or whatever. Like that's the original look, that the uncanny or whatever. That was not bad.
Mm-mm.
Don't tread it, wizard. I won't bite with the second row of teeth. But no, I'm excited for X-Men stuff because I do like the X-Men, but the X-Men is so precarious to mess up, especially this day and age. How much you gonna try to push for the whole it's a racism, homophobia allegory
yeah.
thing? How much you gonna try to go for like let's have a diverse cast by race swapping people? Like, no, don't do that. Just pick
No.
diverse mutants. That's okay. If you want to launch with like fucking Warpath and like all
You
like
Spike.
Spike, right? Like Storm, and or Bishop. You want Storm to lead the X-Men? Have Storm lead the X-Men. Fine.
Yeah,
You want
bro.
Cyclops
Everyone
in
would
it all?
love that.
Yeah. Like no Cyclops in it. Fine. Perfect. Because we had a bunch of movie Cyclops, no Cyclops. Because you
They
want to
could
talk about
both be
Wolverine?
like the leader of it, kind of.
Yeah, you want to talk about like Wolverine fatigue? There's a little bit of Cyclops fatigue if you're looking hard enough. Because he even shows up in
What?
X-Men Origins for like no reason.
Yeah, but he wasn't treated that well in the original fucking franchise, and he's nowhere.
No, because
in
of
fucking...
the Wolverine thing. I'm saying just more like if you wanted to be like no Wolverine, no Cyclops, I'd be like, I'm okay with that. Storm's gonna lead the X-Men. All right, cool. Rogue gets a bigger push, or like no Rogue. We have Bishop, or we have Spike, or we have whoever else, right? And there's like, oh, we need like we have Jubilee, Jubilee's getting a bigger push, because that demographic. Kitty Pryde's Jewishness is put on a bigger pedestal. I don't know what they want to do, right? But like just don't go like race swapping people. It's like, okay, come on. If you race swap anyone in this franchise, you've lost it. It's like, no. Because just pick like
They
that's not the
already
point. Just
have a
pick-
diverse cast.
yeah. Like you push someone. I'm always a big fan of like don't race swap. So like push a character you want from like the lower tier up high. Like that's what you have
Yes,
the authority.
You have the platform. Yeah.
The
And it's already
platform. You have the
proven to work.
authority. Whoever you are the kingmaker now. You're gonna put this character on a big screen that no one's ever seen him on before.
Mhm.
Like Spike
Fucking create a
is
new one.
like Spike is in a movie, right? People forget Spike is in the MCU. He's an X-Men Evolution. He's the first X-Men Evolution character to make it into the Fox movies,
Huh.
with Laura being the second. In X3, there's the guy that Wolverine fights in the forest that makes bone spikes out of his wrists, and he breaks them
Yeah.
off and he throws them at
Oh,
him, right?
shit.
That is Spike. Like that is
Jubilee
who that character
sucks,
is.
Preston. I hate Jubilee.
You like Jubilation League. Come on, you gotta like Jubilee a little bit, but
No, she's whack. Her costume's kind of cool, but
yeah, or like Grumpy says, you do gold team and blue team could work. It's just going to take a while to get there movie wise, right? The idea of like these multiple teams right now, they have like white team. Henry's here. Hey, Henry.
hola.
They have like Magneto leads, I think, white team. So they have like
Not with Denzel around.
not with Denzel around, but
Daniel Day-Lewis
Anyway, yeah,
is
so-
also rumored to be Magneto.
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it was Daniel Day-Lewis and Denzel Washington were going to be the professor. And
No, Denzel was both of them were rumored to be Magneto, and then I don't know if I've even seen anyone who's rumored to be Professor X yet.
Well, I mean, like that's been the fan, not really rumor, but the fan cast, right? People want like the two, they want two black guys to be I remember reading that they're like, oh, we need Muslim people because of Trump. We need Muslim Magneto. It's like, get out of here.
Fuck out of here.
But how about
They
more
can,
toads?
and
says
people make a
Preston.
hoopla about like, well, he's gonna be too old since the World War II. And it's like, well, they can just make another fucking World War happen in the
No, see,
canonically
it's
in the universe or something.
basically been canonized that he slows aging.
Yeah, or that. He just got mutant slowing age powers.
Event says it's going to be near impossible for the X-Men allegory to not be about race. Most of the X-Men are teenagers, and teenagers are now activists. Yeah, see, that's the thing. And I talked about that the Gifted kind of had that in that show, where it was like, oh, like they'll kind of throw the race thing in there. And there was like one of the Morlocks was a black guy, and he talked about how like I was treated extra worse because I was a black mutant. I'm like, get out of here! Like, way to completely ruin your allegory writers. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here. But now we'll move on to some DC news.
Hail Swan, our queen.
Hello, Swan.
Oh,
Finally in
hello.
as an event. But Absolute Bane. Scott Snyder announced.
Oh, let's get to it, baby. Oh my god.
The official
yes.
Absolute Batman
Yes.
arc is going to be called Abomination.
Fuck yes. Dude, I love he's just going fucking out there with it now.
Look at
I need to start getting more issues. I've read up to issue 5, I think.
Is this his head right here?
Yeah, you see the little eyes in the middle, like the black circle with the red eyes. Yeah, it's his fucking head.
Yeah. But as
It's like
someone
the thing
pointed
in the blob.
As someone pointed out, do you know where the name Abomination comes from? As Henry points out, he's
that's
trolling
what they're
Graham.
guessing. Yeah, I think that's. I don't know if that's where it exactly
I
comes
think
from.
100%. I think 100%. He named it Abomination to troll Graham Nolan.
And then someone brought it up to Graham. And he's like, "No, no shade towards him at all. I hope he sells 1 million copies." And it's like, you hate. The
Everyone
design,
always says that.
I know.
You want to know what I've learned so far in this industry. You want to know when you truly hate a guy is when you're like, I hope they make $1 million. Right? It's like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's what Nick Ricciuta said about July's dumbass.
Yeah, that's why I said that. It's like no, that's so stupid.
I can see the hate on the design for Bane, honestly. But
well, when we first saw
Absolute Batman
this,
is selling like fucking hotcakes right now.
When we first saw this, I remember we talked about on the show. I'm like, this doesn't seem like Absolute to me, right? Like this just seems like a Bane with a different art style.
Yeah, but now you got some
this thing
shit.
is just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this series gets even crazier.
Like this is some Immortal Hulk stuff. Like he's just a mound of flesh.
Nuts. I hope he it takes over the whole city of just his whole body just grows and grows and grows. It'd be nuts.
Henry says, good on him. Nolan should have been more professional. Snyder never did anything to him. Snyder never does anything to anybody. Yeah.
Fucking Nolan's just salty. He drew one of the worst covers of all time for the fucking Rippaverse with Yaira. And then he's got nothing, like no kind of notice since. I mean, he's got his, I think it's a Monster Island comic.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's doing pretty well, but other than that.
And some more.
Nolan's doing pretty good with I forget all of his comics that he's got, but he's got several of them where he's actually doing pretty good campaigns. He's definitely making more now.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely making more now than what he was for DC.
And I don't hate. I'm not trying to throw real shade on Nolan. I mean, I like Nolan as an artist, and he seems like a cool dude. But
yeah, I still got to get into the Absolute stuff, but
all the series, other than from what I've heard, other than Superman, are all doing really well. I know I love Absolute Batman.
I've gotten into a little bit of the Absolute Batman stuff, not a tremendous amount yet, but I just got back to where I can actually go to my comic shop and actually get stuff. So
yeah, I'm start checking out some newer shit. I like the new Daredevil run.
I didn't save it. I didn't save it, Snowman, but I saw a tweet. It was a screenshot from Absolute Flash, and it was a guy that was like in a lab or whatever, looking at a monitor, but he had glasses, a beard, and a man bun, and it was like, oh my god, he's here too, because it looked like Paul.
Oh shit!
He's like, he's here too.
Damn, Absolute Flash! I might have to check that out. I've never been.
He does this. He does this Universal Monster movie comics. They look okay.
Yeah,
He'd
that's
still be
Monster
working
Island,
at DC if he could. Yeah.
Or I guess he might do something separate with the Universal Monsters. I don't know that. What, did he get canceled too or something?
I don't remember Graham Nolan's story actually of why he left, but yeah,
He wasn't
sure
the
he
one
could.
that he wasn't the one that put the anti-Semitic stuff in, was he?
No, that was
Zach?
oh crap, who was that? Shit, there's so many of them.
I
Yeah.
thought that was actually one of the writers on Daredevil.
Not
No, there was
canceled, just
somebody.
aged out, says Henry.
There was somebody that
He's the guy that did was it Chuck Dixon? He's the guy that did Alpha Corps.
yeah, I think it was Chuck Dixon that may have done it. But Chuck Dixon's a fucking hack.
No, Joe Bennett.
Yeah.
Joe Bennett.
No, yeah, Joe Bennett was the one. Yeah. And but I don't know if he actually got canceled for that until he had already left. So
But it's hard to remember all those names because I didn't really know them.
yeah, I never gave a shit about Joe Bennett or Chuck Dixon.
Yeah.
Nolan a little bit.
I just
EVS
like
a little bit because of my granddad and Green Lantern and shit. But
I didn't know anything about EVS until after I hated Air July.
yeah, because you're a tourist.
Chuck Danson wasn't canceled either. He just aged out.
And he just
Chuck-
writes the same shit over and over again. He hacks off his older
Yeah.
material. Like Nightfall was great, and Chuck Dixon's earlier Robin stuff was good. But other than that, I don't really care about Chuck Dixon.
I did see, speaking of Nightfall, that DC launched a Death and Return of Superman like compendium thing.
Oh, nice. They
Yeah.
should do the same thing. I'm pretty sure they're starting to do everything, like their little manga-sized volumes.
Uh,
No, they
It's,
did that. You got the Court Owls one, right?
yeah, well, it's not like the short thing. I think it's like a omnibus or something. It might be a short thing because it was 30, so maybe it is a small one.
You should
Um,
remember only one comic creator, and that's Preston Moore.
Yeah.
It misspells her name.
Spells your own name wrong.
Spell their name wrong.
I will say
No.
the stuff that I've worked on with Preston is actually pretty fucking good. So far. What little bit
Anyway,
she's
this-
giving me.
More for Snowman. This'll start some fights, I'm sure. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan confirmed that Zack Snyder had plans for Flashpoint
Yeah.
Batman
Yeah.
and a much bigger role in the DCEU.
I mean, dude, the Snyderverse is dead, bro. I liked what we got from it, and it's unfortunate that Snyder couldn't continue his vision. But it's like, I mean, I don't get the point of like him. Like, why these are like news topics? Because it's like, okay.
Well, it's also
what is
like yeah, you can have plans all you want. You didn't want to do the Flash movie, right? Like,
Right.
You weren't doing everything, and he wasn't like he was actually had any creative control. He wasn't in charge of anything, you know.
Right, exactly. Like, so why is this? I mean, it's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense why this is like a news thing. It would have
But
been
I will
great
say
to see
that-
him as Flashpoint Batman. That would have been awesome.
It does definitely sound like he was going to do Flashpoint in a Justice League thing. And I will say that Flashpoint works only as a Justice League movie in a live action kind of setting. Cause for that cast, you need everyone there. It wouldn't have worked in a Flash solo outing without getting everyone. And it's kind of like a Captain America Civil War kind of deal where it's like, well, this is really a Justice League movie. But no. So that definitely seemed like the whole Barry hallucination, really life happened thing, you know, would have been probably him doing a Flashpoint or something like that. So,
Well, he wasn't really evil. I guess the evil Thomas Wayne you're talking about is with Tom King's absolutely atrocious fucking Batman run. Henry Bennett, is that what you're talking about? Tom King's run? Shit was trash, garbage. Probably the worst run in Batman of all time, in my opinion.
no, Flashpoint. I think Flashpoint Batman's cool, especially Jeffrey Dean Morgan is just really cool. He's really great.
Yeah, he'd been perfect Thomas Wayne Batman.
That book sucks. Yes, isn't it?
But Grumpy, you actually don't like the Flashpoint story?
I hate Flashpoint, Zack Snyder, and New 50. Well, do you at least like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Grumpy? I mean,
Hey, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's great.
you know, like when Flashpoint, you know, Batman will have you know, Flash, and he's got Reverse Flash, he's beating him up, and he's like, he whispers close to his ear, and he's like, I'm so alone. The other Justice League members are afraid of me. No one wants to be my friend. They think I'm unstable. Sometimes I'm
Damn,
so
I gotta
alone
read
I
that
can
again.
cry, but I don't. No, that was from Invincible. Actually,
Oh, okay.
it was from the. It was from.
Such a fucking nerd that you.
No, that's
that
that's
you could quote that like that, dude. Come on.
that finale was great. That was great.
I get
I'm
it,
gonna start
man.
collecting all the Invincible shit, man. That Invincible is
Have
awesome.
fun.
And that
Yes,
speech
that
isn't
shit-
in the books either. They wrote it for the show. Started pretty good. Flashpoint's art's good. Ours is a bit of a douche though. Is that Jim Lee?
No, I don't think Jim Lee was on Flashpoint.
Okay.
But Grumpy,
Got
you
worse
didn't
as
like
it
the
went.
actual story of Flashpoint?
I like Jeffrey.
Or are you talking about as like Zack Snyder's vision of it?
Well, no, it's Grumpy. Of course, he didn't like Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a horrible as
This
story.
story's
Just
amazing, bro.
Schlock
Crazy.
shock.
Yeah, that's
Stupid-
Negan, Preston.
Stupid ways to
Schlock
use the way. An
shock,
awfully dumb story. And the animation brought in image characters, and it got worse. There's like the one guy, like the guy with the
And also the
red
comedian.
mask.
Oh, EVS was Flashpoint's artist. Wow, I didn't know
Yep.
that. I
Ah,
love the
I
art. of
was waiting
Flashpoint.
for y'all to pick up on that when he said what he did.
Damn, so I guess I did know of EVS.
I enjoyed a lot of them.
Derek Chalot.
Yeah.
Haven't
I
read.
thought
You
haven't
probably
read
knew a lot more
Flashpoint.
than what you realized.
Yeah, I just didn't know his name, I guess then. But if he did Green Lantern and Flash mostly, then no, because I never read any Green Lantern or Flash. Unless the only really Flash I delved into was Flashpoint. You're crazy, Grumpy. Flashpoint is like what comics is to me, man. It's
Crazy
out
I
there.
mean, Grumpy's always crazy. He should be
Yeah.
named
We-
Crazy
we-
Old Ninja Kintaro.
Yeah,
we love our crazy Grumpy. And his
Yeah, I love-
crazy
yeah, man.
takes. I'm sure there's continuing on with the stuff that I'm sure Snowman will have a lot to say about still, but I will say, some thoughts. But we do have another look on Superman here, which as people, we won't go crazy because we've talked it to death, but as people pointed out, this should have been the actual first look that we got of this fucking
Bro.
movie.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I watched the stream last week. Yeah, y'all hammered that trailer to death. So
Are you skipping my chest? No, sorry. There's a lot to read, so it's
Yeah.
I'll look away and then I'll look back and then it's
yeah.
By the time we
Sure,
figured
Rick.
out what you said, 13 other chats had popped up. We kind of got to get to
that's why I
those.
like having it on the screen too, so that way everyone can see it.
Yeah, I like it.
Uh,
Yeah, did his suit look? I've never had a problem with the suit really. I thought the suit looked okay, but
Henry says he got Flashpoint mixed up with Rebirth. Did EBS do Flashpoint? He doesn't know.
I think so.
You look it
Pretty
up.
positive he did.
fuck. I think I let my friend borrow the book, but I'm gonna check to see if I packed everything up. Fucking idiot.
Oh,
Let me
thank
Google it.
Thank you, Twitter. That was boobies.
Flashpoint Paradox is what the movie is called, not the book. Andy Kubert did the
I could have
art.
sworn he
Oh,
done
okay.
some work on Flashpoint.
Maybe a cover, but
Okay.
no,
Yeah, Flashpoint's art was great.
Wikipedia says he did this is all he did. So
That's crazy to me. You don't like Flashpoint. Sorry, let me go back. Let me say one more thing about that, because Flashpoint is what comics
you keep going on. It's fine.
is to me,
All right.
man. It was like
That's basic.
super imaginative story. It's like reimagining something else that came before it. The action was insane. There was heartfelt ass moments in it, dude. It was epic. It was over the top. It was crazy to me, dude. It's great comic book storytelling. Man.
Grumpy, you like anything? I love many comics.
Grumpy likes Gremlin World.
A lot of hate.
Oh, he did Flash Rebirth. That's right.
Yeah, Flash
He did
Rebirth. Yeah, we knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that much. But
he did the Flash, Iron Heights.
I know he did a lot of Green Lantern because he created
Yeah.
a few Green Lantern characters.
Yeah, some
I
Batman.
think EVS was
Justice
off.
League.
Maybe I think EVS was maybe off at DC when Flashpoint was coming out, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
Because that would have been like
Any-
New 52 or pre-New 52 would have been like Jim Lee and all that all over the place. But
See, then he done for Marvel Heroes Reborn, New X-Men, Weapon X, and Wolverine.
anyway, no, I
EVS?
just
Yeah.
I'll check out some of his Wolverine shit.
I was just going to
So-
touch on that for the second of just like, yeah, this should have been the picture
The
that
first
we were.
look. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of
Instead of
him
they-
putting the one that he's putting on the boots, where everyone.
Fucking.
Dude, but
shit.
now everyone is saying he looks all like mean and menacing in this. And it's like I think
No,
it's probably
he
just the
don't.
Snyder fans trolling because
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks fine.
I did see some edits. to the
He's
suit
grown
where
on me.
They removed the lines and like took the collar off of the suit and like that looked all right.
I kind of feel bad for him, honestly, and I don't feel bad. I don't. They're actors making millions, so he can fuck off and die
Yeah.
for all I care. But I think he's
Right.
trying to do a good job as Superman, and it just sucks that all the Snyder fans were getting shit for all these years, and now they're coming back full force to just shit on everything.
I mean, that's
about
what
this
happens.
Hey,
movie.
You bully them, they come back.
Eh.
Snowman, I didn't know you were writing a different version of Gremlin World.
Oh, the what? That Grumpy likes?
Yeah, Gremlin World.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that Grumpy likes.
Is that the spiritual successor coming out in 67?
Yeah.
It's the
That's
prequel
my
you gotta get
parallel
to
universe.
And
understand.
it's the
Worked on that
prequel
one.
that you actually need to read before you read Gremlin
Yeah.
World in 4049.
Yeah. Yep. My
Uh,
great grandson will finish that one, and then his great grandson will finish Gremlin World.
Gremlin World. Oh, fuck.
yeah, this also just kind of came up when I was scrolling, but Joe Shuster's estate has refiled the New York State Court seeking to block WB from exploiting Superman in the UK, Ireland, Canada, and Australia. WB has until Friday to answer. Hearing is set for June 4th. The
Let it
July
go.
11th release of Superman. I don't know. They just want money. It's all these families whenever the movie comes out. Like it happened with Ditko's estate when No Way Home was coming out because it had both Strange and Spider-Man in it. Like, well, you're not paying us enough. And Marvel just pays. You know, they always do that. Like the Schuster estate, like none of you guys have even seen like the original Schuster worked on Superman stuff because he's been, you know, that was like the 30s. He's been dead for so long.
I mean, they might as well try and get as much out of it now because it's going to be public fucking domain soon.
Yeah, that was the thing with the Sherlock people. How they were like, for as long as they could, they would milk lawsuits and stuff to get extra money. If you so much as like possibly even looked like your story even looked like it was going to be some of the books they still had rights to, they'd try to get money off of you. But then now they don't have it all because Sherlock's completely public domain now, so they lost it all. But yeah, we'll see where that goes, I guess. Like I don't know what they mean by like stopping him from being exploited.
Bang.
Like and also because like they don't have the American, like the hold on the American stuff, so it's just like, well, only in Australia and in Canada or whatever, in England.
Now Gremlin World is the prologue that you actually need to read before the prequel for Gremlin World.
It'll cost $100 extra.
Now, but that's crazy. Yeah, so that I can't wait to see what's gonna happen when all these characters go public domain. I'd love
Well,
to get
with
my hands on Batman.
Superman and Batman, you'll only get the original, you know.
Oh, give me Batman
stuff.
with guns, bro.
Yeah, but I've seen and even then you won't be able to use Batman as a name, only on the inside of the book. You know, like there'll be a lot of weird caveats because they'll still own the trademarks and everything. You know.
But you
It
can
won't be
kind of
just-
already use a Batman in your book right now. Anyway,
You can use a Batman, you just can't have Batman as the name of the character as plastered on the front and
That's wild.
all that, because that breaks trademark laws.
So I could put Batman with the bat symbol, like yellow belt, blue
Nope.
cape, gray tights,
Nope.
in my
Nope.
comic, but I can't.
Yeah,
No, because
you can't-
because
Go ahead.
Batman is copyrighted still.
Okay,
You
But
But you
can
can
it's
have a
that
character. You can have a
character.
character named Batman.
but he just can't.
He just
look like
can't be in
Batman?
any way near to the DC character of Batman because they will get you for that. Now, when he goes into public domain, you can have a character named Batman on the inside of the book that is based on entirely the original Bob Kane design Batman.
Yep.
And that's it. If you use like Alfred, I think they'll pop you for that.
Damn.
Stuff like
Use
that.
any
Right?
of the later versions of Batman, you'll get popped.
If you use a Robin in any way,
Yeah, you're fucked.
any of the villains,
Any of the rogues gallery, you're gonna
any
get
of the
popped.
rogues, if even stuff is like, well, all he did was fight like mobsters. So if you fight a super villain at all, they'll pop you probably. I could see them doing that because then you're confusing the brand.
So all right, so let's say I want
Yeah,
to
and
do
Superman couldn't fly in his first appearance, so you can't.
Yeah, but he
can't
could
fly at
jump
all.
really far.
He can
so-
jump, leap tall buildings in single bound. But
it would
they'd
be
probably
like
be
Hulk,
like,
kinda.
he looks
as-
like he's
as a man.
flying in this panel. So we got you.
So let's say I want to do a like large factories Batman.
Yeah.
I could use the same design, but it would only from like the 40s for Batman.
From like
Yeah.
1939 to the
From
first
the
issue,
Detective
that's-
Comics. Yeah.
'cause that's what's going to go into public domain. You can use that
Yep.
design.
Okay, but really none of the villains or Alfred or anything.
None of the villains, none of that.
Yeah.
And like anything that, because like when it goes public domain, it's that book, Detective Comics, whatever it is, 15 or whatever. No, that's Amazing Fantasy. I don't remember what Detective Comics is, but that book will go.
Hold on,
into
I've got a
public domain.
reprint of it. You want me to
I
go
think
get
it is. Yeah,
Hold on one second. Let me
I
go
think
grab
it is Detective Comics.
I know it's
literally
Detective
got it
Comics. I
sitting
just don't
inside.
know.
Hold on.
I know it's Detective Comics. I don't remember the number. But that book from 39, that will be in
40.
public domain, right?
Okay.
And so,
Anything in that
that's-
book I can use.
anything in that book will be fair game, and only that book until
Okay, I think
until issue
Alfred- I
2
think
goes public
Alfred's
domain.
in there. I think Commissioner Gordon's even in there.
But Alfred's
maybe Dr.
original
Death?
look was original look was like a doofy fat guy.
Yeah, he's a fat guy. Yeah.
He was a doofy fat. He was a comedy character. You would have to use that Alfred only. You could not use the
Dude, I'll
stoic.
do my version of
MI6.
Absolute Batman using the 40s Batman.
So
So
And like I said,
I'll just
everything-
start from the very beginning and just spiral out of control from there. It'll be fucking
yeah, you can do
amazing.
that if you want to. You can also, like in the same thing with Superman, you have to limit yourself. You can also just do a Captain Marvel story if you wish. Can't
Mm-hmm.
call him Captain Marvel, can't call him Shazam on the outside of the book. Have to pick something else. But Captain Marvel's complete public domain. His original first appearance, many of his first appearance issues, early appearance issues were not filed correctly. So
Mm.
he's completely public domain. And if you go by the rules that DC and Marvel set themselves, you just can't have Captain Marvel on the front of the book because Marvel owns that. You can't have Shazam on the front of the book because
All right,
DC
so
owns
the
that.
reprint, it's Detective Comics number 27,
Okay.
published in 1939.
Yeah, so anything that's in there, goes into public domain. Same thing with Action Comics number 1 when that goes public domain. Everything in that
Then you'll
one.
get, but then a year later, you should be able to get the actual first appearance of Batman of his solo comic that came out in 1940, which I've got a reprint of that too somewhere.
Why would you want to do complete stories of characters you can't use completely? Make
It
your own
would just
stuff?
be fun to because I already got all the characters I think I'm ever gonna create comic book wise in Criminal World.
Well,
I got like 70
that's the other thing.
in count.
Like, if you want, like, you can do it. You could do whatever you want. You just can't really make money off of it. And you have to put that it's a fan comic, and you gotta just, like people write fan fiction comics all the time.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could
Uh,
publish it too under my large factory banner. I just couldn't
uh,
sell it.
Yeah. Goodbye, Henry.
Later, Henry.
You see, Henry.
But no, so so with that, like the same thing happened just now with Mickey Mouse, where it's like, yeah, Mickey Mouse didn't go into the public domain. Steamboat Willie did, and so everything in that
Mhm.
short, every single frame of that short is public domain, and the character of Steamboat Willie is public domain. But you like can't put any of the colors of Mickey Mouse on him, like yellow shoes. Can't do that. That's Mickey Mouse. That's not Steamboat Willie, and stuff like that. And so it's the same. You just have to work with those limitations. Now, older characters don't have those limitations. So your Sherlock Holmes and all those guys, you're perfectly fine there. But anyway, so
But yeah,
Moving on to
Grumpy.
the
Unfortunately, my vision for my comic is gonna be like I've been saying. It's like Berserk. It's just gonna have one cover for like every volume.
Yeah, so like with the imprint stuff, what I was thinking was, and I forget who I was talking to Fusebox about this. Because guess what? New announcement, new guy that wants to be a part of imprint, Fusebox.
Fuck yeah.
He actually wants to write stories for anybody that like he's like, I just let me write someone's story. I just want to take their idea and see if I can do it. So either way, what we were talking about was like when we do the first run, we'll do a couple different covers, right? Like at most 3, right? And then after that, we're just not going to do any covers. So if you want a secondary market, then you come in right at the beginning and you get a couple 2-tree covers and move the fuck on. But other than that, like I don't care about doing variants. Like any of the like reprints or any stuff like that is just going to be like you said, like Berserk. I'm going to find a cover that I'm going to stick with and I'm just going to run with that. So
But yeah, that's how I was thinking. I was also thinking though, if I guess for each chapter, I might do a cover Grumpy. Like within the book, there would be like to separate the chapter. I could have like a mock cover, which would be cool.
You know,
I'll be kind of
Berserk.
thinking of.
You know, Berserk does do varying covers though.
Right, especially for the
For the smaller the
soft
volumes,
backs.
the actual volumes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Grumpy, if you want to do some covers, I would love to see him. I'll give you
Yeah.
$500 for a cover.
What is it? Bro, do you need to borrow $500? Like you've really been hammering on it.
It's the number I
like
just
listen,
saw
I
on
made some
Twitter.
bets I wasn't proud
Look, I made
of.
some
That's
horrible
what
bets.
we were talking
The,
about.
the wolves are at old Gil's door. I mean, just the
But no, like especially for stuff like Crimson Veil, which is going to be a traditional comic, Ghost and the other unnamed character that I'm not going to name until Preston decides that she wants to. I'll do a couple variant covers for those, but I really would like to throw a bone to really good unknown artists. Like Into Paints wants to be a cover artist, and there ain't nobody on this panel that can't say that motherfucker can draw. He can draw his ass off. So yeah, I would like to throw them a bone and get them to do some variants. Maybe even Liam Gray for a couple things. The guys from like Godfoe, their artist is pretty good. You know, people like that are sort of unknown in the indies that are really trying to do something. I'm not gonna pay an EVS $4,000.
No, yeah, and
I'm just not gonna do it.
Gold nigga cover.
Yeah, that's the name of the.
Oh, sorry. That's the name
Yes!
of the. That's the
We
name
are
of the.
now
comic.
Nick and Nick Snowman. You
No,
had one over me.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I thought I was gonna
Fuck
say. I
yes!
saw that way
You
too
said I'll
Uh,
never
now.
do that one. I'll always have that one on you, and
It's the name
I'm-
of the property.
I'm gonna
thanks for
Venmo
that.
Ruby
Thanks
King
for that,
$5 right now.
Ruby. Thanks, and Ruby just kick 10 of that over to me.
I'm only gonna send $5.
That'll be $500, Ruby.
You gotta put it in the slur. Put $1 in the slur jar.
But no, the other thing too is like with some of these books, I would really love to get like the people that I started doing all this streaming stuff with.
Read
Be like
the
like
ticker at the bottom of the screen.
like Wizard to give me a don't forget to like, share, follow my friends at Snowman, Jesker, Cynic.
All right, maybe it's not.
and
Maybe it's not
Clickbuster.
synced up for. It's not synced up for everybody. Never mind.
But either way, no, like I would love to get you guys to do like a variant cover of some stuff, just because y'all been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll just do one for free.
I mean, whatever you need. Like if you need some pencils or something.
I'm trying to think of which one I'd want. I would fucking
I would
definitely
want you. Yeah, well,
definitely
that
gold
one.
in.
Gold
I
in.
want to do one for that.
Gold
Uh,
N word is passable. I'll allow that.
2.0 Cynic is almost listenable. I would, you know, but like, I would probably want you to do something for either the fantasy book or Ghost.
I was
Somebody
thinking
do-
Ghost too. 'cause
Somebody
I'd
do it for
probably do some-
500. It has to be exactly 500.
So far,
That's
the
it.
like,
Flat.
so far outside of like Crimson Veil, like Ghost is like I'm really like enjoying coming up with weird ideas for Ghost. There's so much you could do with that character. So,
Yeah, I was thinking this. I was thinking of a cool cover design for Ghost would be fun to do.
yeah.
For my
he-
books,
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to do variant covers until I go physical, and even then, it's like I got to have some people that actually want to buy it before I like. Not
Yeah.
gonna like try to put a bunch of stuff out and be like, okay, because then it's like not gonna sell, and I'll just want to fucking die.
I
But
mean, you never know too. I
Yeah.
mean, the variant covers could be what makes people want to buy more shit.
Yeah, I mean, another person that I would love to get, and he already said that he would, do some stuff for me and all that is Salty Draws.
Oh, nice.
He's a great dude.
Oh, he'd be
really,
another good one for gold.
yeah. You saw his Elephant cover, man. Like like his Silence Do Good stuff is great, and especially for the style that he does. But like, dude can
Oh,
draw
I
his.
didn't know he did.
He did the Elephant variant, yeah.
You might want
then-
to use him for your fantasy one then.
Maybe it depends, and then like I sort of float between a lot of these circles and I talk to everybody that I can, especially when it comes to like, hey, like what have you got going with this sort of thing, or what do you think about this sort of thing in the comic? And then there's Sven Stoffels. I'd like to possibly get him to do something, but like people who aren't like the big guys. Like I just don't care about paying them $4 or $5 grand to do a cover for me. If they would like to do something in trade, then sure, I would love to have an EVS cover, but I'm not going to, look for the EVS.
Swan, don't
model.
drink and drive.
Right. Too late.
Grumpy,
Yeah, she's gonna
Grumpy
be
says,
wasted on sugar.
Wizard, don't sell yourself so short. Just make your book. If you build it, they will come, and many are already here while you're building. I'm just saying, it's like I don't want to be presumptuous. As these guys know, I hate like.
Yeah, me neither. I get you.
Yeah, Preston,
I
you
hate
do all the
just
heavy lifting because you're
insist-
filled with borscht. So
insisting upon myself.
don't insist upon yourself, bro. Wizard, I've read your shit. You know I can be an asshole. What did I
Yes.
say about your story?
Yeah, you liked it. I'm just.
I
That's
really
why it's
liked
It's
it.
got to look good. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to
Right.
have.
I agree.
Like,
I'm not
I
having
agree with
I'm not
you.
having that conversation with you, not publicly.
I don't
never
want to
again.
have. I don't want to have a variant cover with a good artist if the interiors
Uh-huh.
are going to look bad, or even like my interiors. Even if I can get them to look good, how they are going to look if I'm really able to draw it in my head, right?
Yeah.
It's still going to look like a vintage style cover. Now, if every single variant cover looks like a vintage style cover, that'd be cool. But some people don't draw in that way, right? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to do
mean-
like a high modern realistic cover, and then it's like, oh, it's vintage.
I was actually thinking about that, like with your book, right? Because we were talking about Silver Age, and it's sort of like, was it Golden Age or Silver Age that you were really wanting to stick with? Silver Age, right?
Silver Age for the superhero stuff. This will be more Golden Age.
The
Well,
pirate
that's why
stuff
they're
would be more
variant
Golden
covers
Age?
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
The
and I
pirate
was like,
stuff.
if you took some, I was looking at Silver Age comics, like actual interiors and stuff, and I think you can do that. I think you could do it very well, and I also
Mhm.
think with like upgraded paper and stuff like that, it would really make Silver Age art pop.
Yeah.
So I
That's why,
mean,
what I want to figure out is like the texture. Like, do I
Yeah.
do the dots? The
I think you
the-
do. I think you could do like dots in the art, right? But I
Mhm.
do think you go with newer paper that's like
yeah.
upgraded, right? With the sheen and
Yeah,
all
you-
that. What are you doing, Snowman? Are you just
Sorry.
like scraping
He's
the
eat-
bottom
he's-
of a pudding
he's
cup?
eating yogurt.
That was
Yeah,
yogurt.
yogurt.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
think
know
it
that.
was
I know that sound well.
Jesus Christ, Snowman! Like it's
Uh,
gone, dude. Go get another yogurt cup.
Oh God, it's dry.
I can't. I got. It's my
Preston
diet.
asks, Wiz, how many 3D assets are
Damn
you
it! Now I
using?
want yogurt. God damn it! I
Um,
gotta go get yogurt.
You'll
Get it.
find out when the book is done. I will have videos of the time lapse of all of the art that you will be able to see if you subscribe to the Ko-fi.
Yeah, we'll start doing that too.
And subscribe for a monthly membership, a monthly charge. You get free early access to drawing videos when I make them, and exclusive art as well. Preston's. I actually have art for Preston in the Ko-fi time lapse.
How do you
anyway.
record those, Wiz? You just get
That
like
is in the. So like my old videos, right? Like because you do paper and pencil, so you'd want my old videos when I would do them. I
Yes.
had a camera just literally aimed down at my drawing desk. Now,
What kind of
for-
camera? I'm saying, like you just use
for
your
the-
phone or
so for the early drawing videos, I used my phone. I had like a phone mount that was literally just like a claw that could like a bag clip, right? Like you'd squeeze it and it would hold the phone.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you would just
got
hold.
creative with it.
Yeah, you just hold the phone. I duct taped it to a mic arm, and then so it would
Genius.
hold it over, and then
Okay.
and then that worked. And then now I have like a 1080p webcam that I use instead, and that's the same thing. It's over the mic arm. And so that's what I use for that. And so now I use the Clip Studio. Has a built-in time lapse feature where it just records every single stroke, and so it just you hit export.
Yeah, webcams and strokes, baby. We're back. Wow, wins. Jamie,
There's never been
pull that up.
any
Pull it
stroke,
up.
no stroking on any webcams. Any
That's
associated
literally
WoW
what you
wins.
said, though.
You said
No.
stroke, man.
You said your strokes are recorded
No, I said
through your
clips.
webcam.
Clip Studio does not need the webcam.
I didn't hear that.
There's
Did
the
anybody in
strokes
the
on
chat
here.
hear that?
Well,
I
because
heard
you're not
strokes.
listening.
I heard strokes on your webcam.
I heard
Anyway.
wet, meaty strokes.
No good segue for this, but
there's a great segue for that.
do you use the cam for the OnlyFans? It does not happen. It is duct taped. It does not move.
By the way, Preston, your special
more
video
strokes.
for my OnlyFans that you subscribe to is in your DMs, by the way.
Why would you do that?
Because she
Like if she pays for the OnlyFans, you just put it through that do that service.
she paid for
We
for a
will
custom-
win. Yes.
She paid for a
Well-
custom video.
You mean in the OnlyFans DMs?
Yeah, in the OnlyFans DMs. Yeah, she
Okay,
paid
I was
for a
gonna say
custom
because like
video.
otherwise, like if you're sending it through Twitter, I'm like that's stupid.
No, she paid for a custom video. It's in the OnlyFans
you
DMs.
wanna-
I'm just letting you know.
Everyone in the chat gets a free big pack.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We just need
By the
one
way,
more stroke.
Snowman, I'm dunking on you because I got a fruit cup and some Greek yogurt.
Oh, nice.
It's him.
I just
You
have-
said it's him brushing his teeth.
God damn, I was getting in
Alright.
That's
Listen, whatever you're into, Preston, I'm not here to judge. Wait, maybe I am. have a
probably
clip.
the funniest thing Preston's ever said.
Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't
Coming to Dead by Daylight, by the way.
Really?
Springtrap confirmed.
That game
Oh,
fucking
really?
sucks.
Yeah, I got asked on Discord if I played it the other day, and I was like,
I've
No.
tried so many times to get into that game. It's just too jank and slow for me, man.
I'm not a big gay virgin, so why would I play Dead by Daylight?
Exactly.
I don't play Dead by Daylight. I respect crossover stuff. Speaking of
I get
games
it.
with crossovers,
Nice.
Fortnite. That's what the kids are into these days, ain't it?
Now I don't want this fruit cup.
So the Ruby says Dead
Preston,
by Daylight
you
is
know
fun.
better.
Yeah, she does know better. YOU''RE. You are just
We'll get you. We'll learn you one day.
we'll get you. Also,
get you
comma
there.
after gay. You have to comma before who you address.
No, don't listen to these common Nazis. You're on the
Fortnite,
internet. We
I'm
don't
leaving.
use
Well,
commas.
but this isn't really about like Fortnite as a whole. We're just going to talk about
Bro.
the AI Darth Vader
I've
that
heard
they
about
added.
this all week.
So
All week.
the thing with this, and we'll see what happened, right, when they let it loose. But I will say, I kind of see this as this is the future of gaming in a way, right? Like
Don't leave. Just unsub.
Yeah. Dislike.
this is kind of like what we want for the video game to be able to talk to it and the character to talk back as the character, right? And even though, like I said, people make it weird, people push it to as far as it'll go, but there's some potential here. Now, many people are anti-AI through and through, and especially in a situation like this where this takes away from a quote-unquote actor, right? Where it's like, well, it would, but you're not going to get an actor to record every single combination of lines ever, so you're not really taking away. But this is what the internet did when they had full
I wasn't
access
even
to
thinking of
a,
that.
Yeah.
was a,
They
to a
already
Darth
got
Vader
onto it.
AI.
They already nerfed
Freaking
you.
fucking. Such vulgarity does not become you.
Not allowed.
Spanish, a used tongue for smugglers and spice traders. Its strategic value is very well. Ork-tua. These skiddy toilets. Are
Oh
they
my
some new
God.
form
I
of
hate this
rebel
generation.
alliance?
Can you raise me up?
If Riz equates to mastery of the Force, apprentice, then my Riz is unquestionable. Or a farm. Are you suggesting I concern myself with trivial aesthetics? Hatsune Miku, you inquire about mommy ASMR. Explain this phenomenon. Does it involve lullabies or some other form of psychological manipulation? Tell me. The gritty, is that some form of involuntary muscle spasm? Apprentice? I trust it
I
does
hate
not
Fortnite.
indicate weakness. The
I hate
bite of
Fortnite.
87.
and this generation.
So
I fucking dude. Yeah, they already nerfed him.
yeah, so they
already-
patched him right away because he had profanity that he wasn't supposed to have.
Yeah.
People were also tricking it to saying like they're dressing up as Negan and saying like say my name without the N.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So people were having some fun with it because he will address you as the character your skin is. So someone dressed up as Goku Black. Jesker's not here, so luckily we don't have to watch it, even though I'm sure Ruby's gonna be like no in the chat any second now.
Kill me now.
But no, it just
Seriously.
basically he does an impression of Goku Black talking to Darth Vader. Jesker is also not here, so we also don't have to listen to Darth Vader explaining the lore of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, thank God.
Great.
Um,
Although I do
so-
like the lore of the first two games. I don't really know anything after that.
Second game sucks. Fight me.
I was a fan of both. Loved them both.
I like the first one. I haven't played the second one to a greater extent as I did the first
And there's
one.
a reason for that.
It's fine, Wizard. I've already seen it. It was an interesting video. And then, of course, as is known to make everything about themselves, SAG-AFTRA has or aft.
Nobody cares.
Has filed
You
for an
gotta know
unfair
about it.
labor practice charge against Epic for its use of AI for Darth Vader's voice in Fortnite. Fortnite's signatory company chose to replace the work of human performers with AI technology. Fortunately, they did so without providing any notice of their intent to do this, without bargaining with us over appropriate terms.
Well, he's dead. I mean, how are they gonna?
Yes,
So as
is
Ruby
the
said-
state complaining about
James
it now?
Earl
So,
Jones is famously dead.
That
James
cracker
Earl
is public
Jones-
domain.
James Earl Jones signed his voice to Disney. He
Yeah,
says,
well,
I want to be
yeah.
Darth Vader even after I'm dead. Use this AI for it. I don't care. Right?
Yeah,
And so it's they're within their rights.
to use it
Use-
because they got a contract with
Yes.
Disney right
Yeah.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're owned by Disney owns 10% of Fortnite.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I forgot
Yep.
about that.
So
Damn, bro.
like Disney can do whatever they want with it. That includes this. And
Dude.
some people point out that it's like, well, the Fortnite is still a union like work friendly or whatever they call it, like game, so that they have to use union voice actors, but it's
For
like
everything?
exactly. And it's like, and there is like people that are like showing off like, oh, I can do this Darth Vader voice. It's like, yeah, but can
Yeah, but-
you talk about skibbity toilets to the 12-year-old on the internet? No. Like that's
Yeah.
what they wanted. They wanted this like living, breathing person that could just,
Yeah, in order
be
to do it justice, that voice actor would have to sit on game,
on the call.
And-
Yeah.
on call, and just literally talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the voice the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if we limit AI, some shit like this would be really cool because, like, exactly like Ruby said, it's like
Let's not limit AI. AI should take over the world,
No,
and it
but
should
like Ruby
it should
said-
finish Gremlin World. Personally,
Nah, no, I'm the modern day James Henry Irons. I will fight the locomotive
John-
steam engine
John
by
Henry
myself.
John Henry, you mean?
Jim
James
Henry,
James
Kyle,
Henry was his cousin from
whatever.
Baltimore.
James
I forgot what the fuck it was.
he didn't have a
Right.
story written about him. He actually failed to.
I will
He
take
died
down
before the
AI
robot
by
got to him.
myself with my human ingenuity. But no, like Ruby,
But John
what
Henry
Ruby's saying-
dies at the end of that story, right?
Whatever. As long as Gremlin World comes out and destroys AI in the process, and I die.
Nah,
You
man.
should've-
Make a
just
movie
like-
about me.
Like Ruby said, Skynet. You should have been fucking John Connor, you fucking dumbass.
No, asshole. Before that, Ruby was saying that
Fucking
James
retard.
Earl Jones was the voice. I'm
Nah,
talking about
Ruby
this
wasn't saying
context
that. Stop
before
trying
that.
to bring Ruby down with
No,
you.
I
You're
get
grabbing
like
a bucket
he's saying
right
James
now.
Earl Jones, like he wants to be Darth Vader. He took the job to his grave. There will never be another person who will play Darth Vader again because why would
Exactly.
Disney ever have someone
So,
else do it.
They need to stop bitching and just let this fucking AI be.
Yeah, especially
Darth
with
Vader, 'cause you're not
SAG-AFTRA.
going to get a voice to replace James Earl Jones. It's not going to happen.
Make AI
He
write
is
comic
Darth
summaries. I mean, I have used AI for a few things like that, but not like to finish them up.
Well, and like you're not like replacing someone's job with AI. Like none of us are making our
Right.
book with AI art
You
in
wait
the
until
thing.
you wait until I can get an AI co-writer. Preston's fired.
Oh,
Pow!
if
Gone!
AI could do the comic how I picture it in my head, I'd be using it today.
Oh, I know you
Coward.
were, Preston.
Coward.
Anyway, but so
If
yeah,
AI
just
can misspell things the correct way, Preston's gone in a
Preston.
heartbeat.
Once you get someone that can make typos, it's over. Anyway, but yeah, so SAG-AFTRA, people were defending them, people were going after them. I watched a video about SAG-AFTRA and just how like unions
More
are
like
unions are weird in general, like especially a big one like SAG-AFTRA, where it's like okay, like probably Vivant, they're usually going after like they're the whole like the strike that's going on, which there's a video game voice actor strike going on right now, but like no one cares about it.
just get Deborah Wilson to do everything.
Grumpy says I didn't mean to send Vader says a question. Just skip it. We'll get to questions here.
That word beads.
Pop in here. I don't know if you guys are aware of Randy Pitchford.
No, I don't know who she is.
Never heard of him.
I believe the creator or like the director of the original Borderlands games. He left after.
We love Borderlands.
We did 1 and 2. He is known as being the old man yelling at the cloud on the internet.
Yeah, Dave and Jim from BT.
He'll literally like fight people. Like if we were to just like go after Randy Pitchford, he'll probably make a stream about us. Just like, what are these guys from? But I've seen it happen.
I like this guy.
We talked about him already, but like it happened to Pat Snowman. Like he would like tweet about Randy Pitchford and like
from Super Best Friends Play.
Best Friends Play. Yeah, Pat would make this like Pat got like in this. He got a stream made about him for like no reason. But anyway, so he tweeted out about Borderlands 4 has some news. You know, and they're talking about it, and they're like, well, it's looking like it'll be like $80, right? Or this whole thing about how games are going to be $80. And a fan asked him, you know, this game better not be $80. Don't take the risk or whatever, you know. He said, not my call, but if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, I saw that today.
My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Prismo Beach. I found a way to make it happen. So,
well, that's also because video games were much rarer back then.
Yeah,
like I don't need to get your blood fucking.
Randy Pitchford said that Steam will collapse after a decade. Yeah, everything I always see out of Pitchford is always him just saying something like stupid or everyone calling him out for something and like that. So
the thing is, unfortunately, I don't need to play Borderlands anymore when there's 8 million other shooters on the market that I could get. Now, Borderlands is pretty unique and it's a great franchise, but if I don't feel like dropping 80 on it.
I'm not gonna play any shooters anymore. I'm sick of them. I played them for so long, and I'm tired of them. Now Preston's in the chat wanting to form a new comic book company with Grumpy and Swan.
You can't compare NES games.
Oh,
those
and
cartridges had
Wizard
computer chips in them. I'm not even in the regular imprint. I ain't joining B Team imprint.
Wiz is the only real one.
And Stapoo Man, don't forget.
Snowman's a real in.
I'm mostly
he's down to ride. He's down.
You gotta get Preston either a bigger keyboard or smaller hands.
Snip woman.
Gotta.
It's those Russian thumbs.
Yeah.
Snip woman.
Another funny story, different than what we normally would talk about, but I just saw and thought it was funny. But they A Smash Bros. Melee guy lost $2,000 because he glitched and fell through the map.
Ooh, bro. The Smash Bros community right now is so cooked. I'm not gonna bring up all the stuff on here because it's pretty spicy, but these
Well,
people are nuts.
The Smash Bros. Community is always like
Swan is throwing some shade in the chat.
there's a
We'd
shade
make a great
detected.
foursome, Preston. And when I start streaming, I'll let you on the panel. Unlike some people, literally, Preston has been on panel with me. I'm the
Yeah.
only show that she's ever been on.
Vabent's joining. You're
Ah,
on mean
damn it,
streak, man.
Vivant! Your stickmen are so good. I was
We're
really,
gonna get crushed.
I was really needing
ruined.
those. We're done now.
Yeah.
We're done for.
Yeah. So the commentator says like, oh, last time he tried, because he's basically doing like a glitch to get a dash or something. So Smash
Yeah.
Bros. Melee's stupid competitively, but he's
Smash
like, last
Bros
time he
in
tried this,
general.
last time he tried this, he glitched through the map and died. And
Don't fall for it. Don't go down there. Don't go down there.
he glitches through the map and died.
What an idiot!
Loses $2,000.
Oh shit!
Well, there's another woman who's left me. So this time it involved a man and two women. So that's a first. I'm not doing it.
Anyway,
You're growing.
Why would I
pinned
apologize?
at the top of the chat is the Ask Us Anything. Grumpy starts it off by asking, when is that internet coming, Wizard? About my internet story earlier. I'm not sure yet, just because I work so much. I have to get it set up on a day I have off. And if it's like, I have to figure all that out. And if it's like, well, we can't come that day, it's got to be this day. It's like, well, so who knows? I'm mainly just basing it off of like worst case scenarios. Grumpy then asked, how do y'all feel about people selling their likeness voices to be AI'd? I kind of want Kevin Conroy as the permanent Batman voice in Almenia, but it feels wrong to want that.
I don't care about it. I like that people fit it. You know what I mean? And their voices.
What was the question again?
How do you feel
How
about
we
AI
feel about,
voices being sold?
like people giving the rights to use the AI more than anything. Like,
That's up to
like
you,
James,
then. If you want to give your rights up.
and then like people becoming like James Earl Jones is now forever the voice of Darth Vader. If Kevin Conroy would have signed away his voice, like we would have just dead Kevin Conroy as all Batman for all time.
I wouldn't. No, not all Batman, because Batman is in way more media than Darth Vader is. So it would be nice to kind of hear different takes on Batman every now and then. And I mean, even eventually Darth Vader too. And we've already gotten some other great Batmans and Darth Vaders. So it's nice to just change shit up now and then. And fuck AI.
No,
Yeah.
AI is the future,
It is.
and it's taking
Not-
over.
I'll
gonna
say,
fuck-
as far as like voice acting for movies and stuff, it's completely pointless because you can get a guy in the booth. When it's what we saw with this live performing video game tech character that has to be AI, that's just the way it's going to be. And we've had that since the Speak and Spell, the idea of like just like putting something in and having it talk.
My baby first AI.
And so that's just how it has to be.
Well, you're wrong, Grumpy. How about that?
Swan, Preston can come on in the special episodes like tomorrow with Thor's Day, and she can share in the holy celebration that is Thor.
I don't know how I feel about you calling it a holy celebration. Will you please quit with the blasphemy?
Speaking of 2099, you know that like there's actually a whole like Thor religion in the 2099 future where they all have like hang gliders and they fly around dressed up as Thor and they talk about how
Fire.
Thor's gonna come back and he's gonna judge all of the
I need to get into some of the
evils of the
2099
world
shit.
or whatever.
2099 Spider-Man costume is probably one of my favorite costumes in comics. Shit's
Quick
sick.
Question: what color is Spider-Man 2099's costume?
Blue and red.
Blue and
No,
red.
wrong.
Gold.
Black. It's black. It's black.
Is it black? I thought it was like a dark navy blue.
It's a
Nope.
dark navy.
I thought it was like a
it was-
dark navy blue, almost black, like a blue
It's like-
black.
It was
It's like
red. It was
Ruby's
more or
gun.
less like
Pull it
retcon
up.
to be blue.
Jamie,
But
get on this.
if you read Spider-Man 2099, they always talk about how it's a black and red costume. But due to how they inked back in the 90s and such, they used heavy like look at Venom, right? During the 90s, he looks like blue. Because
Yeah,
they used
but
heavy
in my
amounts
head
of blue
canon,
to
he looks cooler in blue than he
All
does
right, I'm
black
pulling this
Venom.
up. Hold on, Jamie.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I'll be the next best.
It's
voice actor
common.
for
I can't
Batman
share as
Grumpy.
easy because I don't have the
How about that?
another
How
tab
about that?
I'm sharing.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
So,
no,
like,
but I don't care. You can call it black all you want. That shit looks blue. It's fucking blue.
Well, that's
the
blue and
thing.
red is Spider-Man.
that's the thing. He's blue and red is Spider-Man, yes, but canonically
That's
he's
fucking
blue and
blue.
black for a time, and then he becomes blue. Like
You're,
that's just
nah,
like
man.
All
You're
right,
like
well, okay.
you're gaslighting. Stop gaslighting me.
Okay, so
You're trying to Darvo. Don't
that,
Darvo me.
that original Spider-Man 2099 costume then is one of my favorites. Is
I've
that
gotta go
better?
I'm going to punch a wall. I'll be back.
Yeah.
he looks good with the cape.
picking
You don't
something.
see the cape in a lot of stuff these days, but I feel like people forget the cape, especially in like video games.
The spider web cape, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
when
that
it
one,
goes
yeah, I
spider-
love this costume. I love fucking the Scarlet Spider with the hooded sleeveless hoodie on the big black spider on it. I fucking love that one.
Oh yeah, so it was basically like Spider-Man. Well, even original Spider-Man was red and black, right? Like those, as Ruby points out, like, but it was made blue after Ditko. But yeah, so 2099 Spider-Man is black and red, and they'll call it out in the books because it's meant to be a Halloween costume. But that's why he had it was a Halloween costume. But it basically became, because of the way they colored it, basically became blue because that's what it looked like. They wanted blue.
Grumpy. Well, what that
every
image
time
you
after.
just showed me, what colors was in that image, Grumpy? What were those colors that was just in that image?
No, Ruby 2099. It's black. It's just was miscolored, or not really miscolored. It was intentionally colored blue to highlight, to not be like all black, right? To highlight it better. They just kind of
99% blue.
The blue is a lighting effect, like Grumpy says. It's just
All
over
right.
time. It just became a blue costume, and that's what it is now.
Oh, I thought you were saying it started blue and then went black, but it started black.
No,
and
like
became
so
blue.
like the story is that it's like when you read those original books, he's wearing a black and red costume. He talks about him in a black costume, black costume, black costume. It just looks blue. But people were just reading those books at the time, especially the modern writers and stuff. They're just like, yeah, it's a blue costume. Like it's a blue and red costume, and that's just what it's so it basically just became that.
Gotcha. And I understand they got to ink it differently. They got to ink black differently to show shadows, so they got to use the blue, which I need to learn how to do that because I don't want it to look blue when I'm shadowing something with black.
Wait, who the
it's
fuck's a
mainly just-
tourist?
You basically just got to just
We
do.
all are.
You got to just do the black inks how you would, and then just well, you color physically, so it won't. Because I say with digital, you just do the blue under it. You won't matter. But
I mean, I might do. I would like to do both. Do multiple mediums for coloring.
Anyway, then he Grumpy with the Vader is dead. He's mentioned that was supposed to just be a chat, not a question.
Gotcha. Oh, I forgot where I'm at.
Preston then says, "Why won't Cynic say sorry?"
I'm not doing it.
Because
I don't know what that's. I don't know what that's in regards to, but so,
I simp for no man.
we'll move on. Also, no, again, Preston, no, there's an apostrophe in won't, but everything else was okay. But no question mark either. You forgot the question mark.
Don't let him grammar Nazi you, Preston.
No, I'm all about
you spell your truth.
punctuation with Wizard of Wordplay. Bent then says, how soon do you think indie and AA games do a complete takeover of the game industry?
Oh, they're already doing it.
Yeah,
it's done.
Yeah.
It's already over. More people are buying indie games. All right. So if you go upstairs to my library, and before I really got into comics again, like I have recently, I was a physical video game collector. And 90% of the stuff that I bought was probably indies and AA games.
Yep, a lot of the fucking games I just download a lot, and a lot of them are just like indie Metroidvania type.
Almost
games.
almost all of my downloadable games are indie games. because you can't buy a physical copy of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I look for. They're cheaper. The stories are kind of crazier, and I mean they're a little more. They're just more creative, I guess. I don't know. Like a lot of them are like Blasphemous 2, those types of games. I fucking love that game.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Ghost Song. Fucking.
I know you hate it,
dope.
but Mortal Shell.
Yep, that's an indie one too.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the Souls-like. There's hella fucking indie made Souls-like games. Like there's one I fucking love. Hellpoint is a sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
Souls-like. I fucking love that game. I mean, even Surge is like that's not even a AAA, right? It's like AA, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, because AA is not necessarily indie, but it would just be like made by a major company with a smaller budget. And I was watching a thing about how like there's like they're like what's some game franchises that are currently AAA that need to go AA, and like Assassin's Creed's a big one that's like you know tighter narrative experiences would be better, and I was trying to remember what the other ones they said, but the definitely the AA, you know, an indie game kind of thing, is I wouldn't like we're heading towards a game crash, especially a AAA game crash. And we have some news even that I skipped over. They'll save until next week, but where it's like, man, these AAA games, you know, like they just can't. Like, we're not where we were, right, with these AAA games.
That's just because like there's just a huge variety of different types of games now. It's like you don't need to rely on your like Halos or Metal Gear Solids
people want
anymore.
like I feel like people ever since like GTA 5, people have been wanting like GTA 5s again, or like $1 billion making things.
Huge production of a game, yeah.
Like here's one that I saved that will just
And also the problem with the AAA games is they're just like so super focused on how good can these graphics become. It's like they're not really trying to worry about the gameplay anymore.
According to IGN, GTA 6 development cost over $1 billion. The most expensive video game of all time.
Oof.
So
that's crazy town.
And they decide to give it a female protagonist.
That bitch is fine as fuck in real life.
I mean, she's fine in the game too. I mean, we just gotta see how that translates to the story. But anyway, also, yeah, I was gonna say the Swan beat me to it. Who's gonna spell check Preston? Swan will. So,
she also works too much.
You know, Swan.
Swan works way too much to be learning fluent Preston.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna say it.
She's a dumb woman.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh.
Anyway, that was.
I mean, I had to train an AI to learn how to translate Preston.
Prestonese.
And the AI just threw its hands up like.
That's a lot of words.
Ask Grok, man.
ChatGPT said, "Can I reference Grok?"
Grok's like, I'm gonna refer you.
Preston said,
"No,
refresh."
I know. I don't need to I don't need to refresh. It's just click over. I saw Preston. I was gonna get to it. Not a question, but Preston says, "Just say it, Cynic, or I will form a new team." Hold on, I have to correct. So she had just say one word. AUSTVSAY, not good. Again, comma after it to address Cynic, or I will form an new team. That's not good to use the and. It's just a new team. There you go.
Slow down a bit when you type pressed.
We'll get you there.
Look, man, I have that effect
happened? Did Snowman call me a dumb woman?
No, I was insinuating that's what Wizard was going to call you.
No, I was gonna say something else. Sorry.
Dumb bitch.
No, I was gonna say dumb and all. Why did you put words in my mouth?
Yeah, why don't you just put in the private chat, dumb bitch?
No, that was not about Swan.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that laugh from him? It was so nervous.
It was not about Swan, damn it.
they're sexist. It's they are THEYR
Yeah,
apostrophe RE.
Dumb bitch. Anyway.
We got them. Like and subscribe.
That's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Preston, check DMs.
We're definitely getting canceled.
That's fine. It's
so,
the
you
penultimate episode anyway.
It's the pun ultimate episode. We'll be back next week. For our season finale, where we will hopefully try to get through all of the news that we have piled up, and hopefully not collect any more. If so, we'll be rapid firing. He called you a dumb bitch, not an dumb bitch. A dumb bitch. But you remember the question for you for free. We're getting there. See, negative reinforcement. Capable of providing $500 of work on a cover yet, so amateur will have to do. I'm no apostrophe, period, not showing up. So there you go. Anyway,
Thursday
to the next week, the finale. Anyway, tomorrow, Thursday, lots of Thor news to cover. Big Thor comic news.
Fuck, dude, we're supposed to do. God, motherfucker.
I know you are, but you're gonna be here because you can't say no. It's fine.
I guess, yeah. No, I'll just have to leave early. I can't say no to Thursday.
But we'll go.
I like Thursday.
We'll go over the new Immortal Thor issues that have come out. And
we'll also how many do I got to read? I got a lot of reading.
You got to read all the way to the present. So.
Oh God, that's a lot.
Don't feel like you have to though, because I'm basically going to go through this. Because basically, we went through the.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try to read as much as I can. Because I got to go back to that house tomorrow. I'm fucking pissed, bro. God, that's so much money that's gonna be fucked if I don't go do that. But I'll read as much as I can, and then what I'll do is I'll go through all the art at least. That way I can at least pan the art with you, right? We can dunk the art together.
So remember,
that's all I'm gonna do.
I realized where we were at with the catching up is where we started Thursday on, which is when I was going through the issues. So it's like, oh, like we've basically seen the run. So that's why I'm going to go through the recent 2 or 3, I think. But there's that. Then there's also the Incredible Hulk. The recent Incredible Hulk is actually a Hulk versus Thor story. So I'm going to read that and then go over it. Then the news of the new Thor series that Al Ewing is going to write with a new artist that is not the person that has been doing the recent Immortal Thor books. So we did it. We won. It's actually a good artist is taking over a Thor story.
Good. Thank God.
And if we have time, maybe I'll go over or save it for another future episode. The list of the canceled Thor animated series we were going to get back in the day, including one from back in like the 70s. That would have been probably cool, but
maybe sorry, let me talk to Swan real quick. Maybe
I was gonna say that Swan says I guess Batter Day is never gonna have. Batter Day will have it because I'm not gonna quit streaming entirely. It'll just be stuff to talk about. Maybe it might be if people beg me, if they bleed me, you got to do Wild Wednesday. We need it every week.
Stop it! No, Wizard. Wizard. Don't ever say that again. I disavow what Wizard just did. Dude.
No one's gonna do that because none of you like this show. I know you don't have to lie.
Wizard, no.
I don't. You don't. It's all right. It's all right. None of you have to lie anymore. Next week, season finale, possibly series finale, show's over. Preston's right. Not really, right? Like they don't like it. It's like, whatever, like they just tolerate it.
Well, we've already deciphered that she's a dumb bitch. So it doesn't matter what she says.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Who's been sliding in your DMs and telling blasphemous lies?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Who is it?
No, it's nobody.
Is it a little? Yeah, that's bull. I call bull on that. This attitude.
No, it's just literally like I don't need anyone being in my DMs. I could see the numbers. Numbers are down.
Because
everybody's numbers are down, bro.
It's fine.
Dude, our CG Church and King streams are cut by half right now because it's springtime. Everybody's going out and touching grass.
It's fine.
Wednesday
Don't
night.
worry
You might have to
about
just
it.
Pick another day, but it's.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not saying I'm sorry to Preston, and I'm not begging you to do a show, but
I've never said you guys. I mean, like you're just here. I mean, you're the panel guest. I'm talking about like the fans. The fans got to say they want it. I mean,
oh, the fans got to say they want.
Yeah, it's that. You don't
fans,
like we don't have
chat. Let me talk to y'all.
Like those cancels.
Ruby said he's gonna kill himself if he doesn't get more.
Wizard's not listening right now. This is just you and me. All right. Let Wizard give it to you. Okay. Let Wizard.
They gotta want it. You gotta.
Let Wiz just give it to you.
Some consent here. And anyway. Anyway, no. Well, so Batter Day will happen. When there's Batter Days to talk about, like when that Batman #1 launches, that was like what the show was built around, was doing that.
Batman
but maybe if I pick up
Absolute Batman,
if I catch up on Absolute Batman, we'll talk about that, and when there's Batman news coming out to talk about.
Batman and Robin, I think, is supposed to be getting re-released in fucking California. I think is doing something with Batman Forever and Robin. I think
Robin are doing something.
If my theater gets Batman and Robin or Batman, Batman Forever, I'm not going to go to theater for Batman and Robin.
Just take your DVD over there to him and be like, "Hey, can you just play this on the big screen for me?"
That's true. Why would I go to the theater for that? I own that movie. I own both of those.
It's a different experience, man.
It is. Now after going to that theater to watch Thunderbolts, I wish I would have gone to see Wicked when I like.
There's so much.
Oh, look at you! Huh? You could have joined the club. It's a great movie.
I was going to do it because you were like, oh, the theater experience is really great. I didn't know how big that theater was. I'd never been inside, and I got in there. I'm like, oh, it's actually really, because it looks like such a small building. But the way that they do it is you walk in and you turn right and you go down. And so it's like you're facing the theater is like tucked into the side. And so it's like, oh, this is big. Like I thought it would be like a small little room, but anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Cynic. Thank you, Snowman. Jesker.
Yeah, brother.
I'm pretty sure passed out after attempting autoerotic asphyxiation. That's what I hear. Thank you for the chat. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Swan. Thank you, Preston. Thanks to Ruby. Thanks to Vabent. I click on random ones. Where is Ruby? I don't see it. Oh, there he is. No, I literally do. I just go and click when I see their names. There's Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Swan's and Ruby's profile kind of blends when you're scrolling real fast.
They're the same person.
And Henry Bennett's Anatori fan for being here.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
And Mike Wheeler for popping in for a second.
Hell yeah. Go check out Lady Darth, was it? For Divinity Comics?
Or whatever. Team, I'm a chick. All right. Oh, I did see Ruby. I did see if you haven't seen the I'm not gonna keep highlighting all of those. Take that elsewhere. No, I did. This is me talking to Ruby right now. Ruby, who was gonna miss Thor's Day again, but Ruby, there's a new like Red Bull Sonic thing or something like that. But I saw a still of it with Rouge the Bat where they completely like took her breasts away, like they're complete, like she's flat chested. I was gonna send it with Ruby.
What have they done?
But anyway, Thor's Day tomorrow, season finale of WoW Wednesday next week, and thanks everyone for coming. And now I'm going to play the outro.